Yo, what's up, everybody? So I'm going live using new tech, right? And I just want to give this thing a shot, see what it's like. Got a new camera. We're working on building a fabulous new studio. Still got some painting left to do. It is what it is. Don't judge me. Still kind of new to this thing. Man, the lighting is bad. Hold on for just a second. Let me do something to get this lighting right. Let me do something to get this lighting right. Hold on. Hold on. I know y'all can still hear me, right? I'm fumbling around. I just need to get some light in here so that we can have this thing be right. All right. Let me see. Is that better? Y'all can see Uncle Freezy better. Okay. All right. Let me try a couple more things. Well, you know what? This may be good. Can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all hear me okay? Let me see if I'm up on YouTube. Let me try the YouTube thing real quick. Just bear with me. Let me see if Uncle is good to go on YouTube as well. I'm talking about a few things, man. To be honest with you, just want to always on. Matter of fact, let me hit up my YouTube my people. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right. Yeah. All right. So I'm on YouTube, right? Just want to try some things, man. Just got some things I want to, but you know what? Let me do this. Let me just get down to the nitty gritty. Okay. Appreciate you. All right, so I'm back with this camera is, man. I got a new camera set up, man. Y'all bear with me while I work on. So first thing I want to talk about is the Knicks draft, right? So there are a bunch of things. There are a bunch of things going on. Let me close this out. So there are a bunch of things going on, a bunch of rumors. Some LaMelo Ball might be falling in the draft. Some James Wiseman looks like a bigger Chris Bosh mixed with DeAndre Jordan. Some Killian Hayes may be the number one pick. Some Knicks are interested in Aaron Nesmith. And so the Aaron Nesmith thing, by the way, is legit. So not to toot my own horn or nothing, but I started this thing back during the summertime where I felt like the Knicks There it is. There it is. Okay. All right. I hope y'all can hear me. I hope y'all can hear me, man. I hope y'all can hear me pretty good. Sorry about that tech difficulty. Trying some new technology, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying out some new tech. So, to get at what I was wanting to talk to y'all about. So, the draft is going to be crazier than what y'all thought. I mean, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. The draft is going to be bananas, right? So here's why. There is a level of uncertainty with players ranging from 4 through 15, maybe the same guy. And I know I told y'all before that 5 through 20 may be the same guy, and then 20 through 40 may be the same guy. But as this thing goes along, and as we find out more stuff, as we get more information on each player, we find out that these players may not be far off from each other. Player, say 4 through 15, may not be that far off. Like legit. What is the difference between maybe a Josh Green and a Devin Vassell? What's the difference between a Tyrese Halliburton, Terrell Terry, or a Kira Lewis? Right? maybe a big difference, maybe a small difference, maybe a difference of maybe something that's in the minutia, something along the lines of what team said player is drafted by, right? Maybe it's a deal where it's who knows, just maybe it's insignificant. And that's the reason why I say 4 through 15 may be not as big a deal as we make it out to be, right? And so with that said, if that's the case for us, then what's the deal with teams looking to trade up? Why would you trade up if there is no significant difference between the players that you can draft? I think it all depends on team need, right? All on team need, right? So if you're the Knicks and you're at 8, you should generally be in the best player available mindset. But at the same time, maybe there's a guy out there that you feel like can legit change your franchise. And I know the guy who most Knicks fans want. I mean, it's clear who they want. And in the first time in a really long time, it's clear who the Knicks feel like addresses a need, can be generational, and have an immediate impact and survive in New York. I mean, this conversation goes all the way back to last year when y'all wanted Zion. Knicks fans, y'all think y'all slick. Y'all like, oh my gosh, we've never been in this situation before. Really? Really? Y'all didn't want Zion last year? Yeah, y'all wanted Zion last year. Y'all know that. Y'all know y'all wanted Zion last year. Right? No big deal. Because Zion's a great player, right? Right? Zion's a great player. Y'all know that. The player this year, though, is LaMelo Ball. LaMelo is 6'7" and was measured at the combine 6'7" and 1/4 without shoes on. Right? Without shoes, he's 6'7" and 1/4. Right? He appears to have a generational talent or two. All right. The 2 generational talents that he has, based on what we've seen from the media, is talent number 1 is otherworldly court vision. Right? Otherworldly court vision. Like cats with court vision like this don't come along often. Y'all got to see the Chrome Dome as I drank some tea, right? All right. So the otherworldly court vision is one thing. Also, his second otherworldly talent is pass accuracy. Like, people think passing is just one component. Passing is not one component. Passing is a combination of body positioning, court vision, decision making in which pass to throw. Is it a bounce pass? Is it a chest pass? Is it an alley-oop? Can you pass the guy open or not? So there are a lot of components in passing. It's not just get the ball and throw it to somebody. It's not it. You know, it's how much steam do you put on the pass? How much touch do you put on the pass? You know what I'm saying? Do you put spin on the pass? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things, but anyway, LaMelo Ball seems to have those 2 generational type talents, right? Legit, no doubt. My man is in terms of passing the basketball, he seems to be a once in a generational type passer. right? Um, also, he also knows how to get guys involved in offense, or at least it appears to be that. Like he legit seems to understand basketball offense, which you would, some people would say that all these things go into like one basket. It doesn't. It doesn't. It does not. You legit have to be understand what your team wants to run versus what the team is showing you on defense. You have to understand where your players are, where they're looking to go, how they look to threaten the defense as the play seems to progress, body positioning, where to be on the floor. There are so many things that go into it. That's why finding a legit point guard is so difficult. And so I understand where people have frustration with, or what they have frustration with as they move forward with finding their point guard, right? So do you feel like moving up? Do you feel like moving up in the draft for LaMelo is the way to go if you're a Knicks fan? In my opinion, I know those skills are generational. I say, be careful, right? And the reason why I say be careful with that is because there's another need at point guard for the New York Knicks, right? There's another need. And that need is shooting or shot making. Shot making, not shooting. Because shooting is one thing, shot making is a different thing. For instance, Dennis Smith Jr. shot 27% from three last year, right? Elfrid Payton shot 20% from three last year. Frank Ntilikina shot 31% from three last year, right? So they shoot the ball, but do they do it at a decent enough clip to threaten defenses? No. Elfrid Payton got probably more minutes at point guard than anybody in that group, and he shot 20% from three. Does that threaten defenses? Think about it. He shoots one for five, so he hits 1 3-point shot per 5 attempts per game. Is that what you want at point guard? No. LaMelo Ball shot 25% from three last year at a 14-game sample size, playing against subpar basketball defenses. Is that what you want? Or, see, a skeptic would say LaMelo Ball looked great against grown men in a terrible league, and that should give you trepidation. That should make you pause or at least be nervous about this kid's true talents, right? Proponents of LaMelo Ball will say, you know what? The kid has talent, and it's obvious. You can watch it on tape. My thing is LaMelo Ball that good where you would consider trading up? I'm halfway with it, right? I would say if LaMelo Ball is definitely going one, I don't trade up to number one, right? If we're at say for instance, if LaMelo Ball is drafted number one overall by the Minnesota Timberwolves, do I go to Minnesota? And not go to Minnesota, y'all know what I mean. Do I pick up the phone and call Minnesota to see if they're interested in trading his draft right to the Knicks? And if so, what will it take? Right? And if they approach us with, well, he's the number one pick in the draft, then I'm just gonna politely hang up the phone because it's not worth it. It's not. It's not. We gonna legit give up. Well, first of all, we'll have to see what they're asking. But the asking price for the number one rights to the number one pick is generally expensive. So, what if LaMelo falls to 4? That's halfway between us. And I know y'all gonna criticize me on my math. Oh, that's not halfway. That's not really half. It's halfway because 7 teams pick in front of us. You got 1, 2, 3, then the halfway mark, then 5, 6, 7. You can't count 8 because if he fell to 8, we could just draft him on our own. We don't need to trade with anybody if he's there at 8. I mean, come on. So, what if he falls to 4? Who picks at 4? I don't even care. I think it's Chicago. The only trade I'm looking to do in a trade with Chicago is a trade for Zach LaVine. That's it. That's it. A trade for Zach LaVine is the only thing I'm looking for. Just checking Sportscaster. Hey, Uncle Freezy is live on Sportscaster. Look at that. And I got like a whole bunch of people watching. Shout out to this Sportscaster crew. I'm trying something new, y'all, so I really can't. I got like some tech stuff I'm testing out. So let me do this. Let me shout y'all out. Y'all see that? Shout out to Teddy. Teddy is back in the chat. What's good, Ted? Hey, shout out to look who. Hey, Raphael, what's good? Hey, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now? Let me see if they can. Hey, can y'all hear me now? We good now? Yo, good. Hey, y'all want to jump on? Okay, all right, whatever. Hey, Raphael, you got a lifetime contract, no paperwork. You know what I'm saying? So I have to extend the offer. I can't just let you sit out here and not feel like, you know what I'm saying, you ain't welcome to jump on. The same thing for Ted. All right. Hey, let me do this. I'm on StreamYard, right? Let me send y'all something. Hey, can y'all can you jump on StreamYard? It's StreamYard.com. And then find me, right? And then I'll send the invite to you. So, but to back to what I was saying, hey man, when I be saying y'all want to jump on, man, that made me hype. You know what I'm saying? Not that I can't do it by myself, because y'all know I'm a chatterbox. Y'all know I will talk y'all to death. Y'all know I will talk y'all to death, right? But it's always fun when I have my people come through. When my people come through, man, it's dope. I'm gonna put the StreamYard thing in the chat. All right, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So if y'all want to come through, just click on that, man, and it'll bring you through. So shout out to my sportscaster crew. I don't know if I shout out to my people watching on YouTube. Just wanted to get on. It's a few things we need to talk about. I wanted to finish talking about this Knicks draft thing, though. Oh, hey, let me do this. Just go to. You know what? Hey, Ted, Raphael, hey, do me a favor. Go to Twitter and DM me your email address. DM me your email address, and then I'll send y'all the link, and y'all can just jump right in. Matter of fact, let me do this. That camera is crazy, boy. I leaned over and it's getting all the top Uncle Freezy had. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me do this. Hey, y'all, be patient with me, man. I'm gonna try to get Teddy in them on just real quick. I can't find y'all for some reason. I can't find you for some reason, dog. Just DM me on Twitter your email address, and I'll send the link to you. And while they do that, y'all, let me get back to the LaMelo Ball. So the LaMelo Ball thing is funny in a sense that, in one sense, he may be the answer to the problem that we've been having for numerous years. And then at the same time, he may be one of the ills that have plagued our franchise for the last 20 years, right? Like, on one hand, on this hand, he may be the answer to our problems, and we've been too stuck in old man thinking to take a chance on a cat like that. For instance, when we had Kristaps Porzingis, and Porzingis and Frank Ntilikina were like, "Yo, this kid Luka Doncic is the real deal. It'd be nice to play with him." We were like, "Nah, we ain't trading up in the draft. We ain't giving away draft picks. We've done that too many times." And then it backfires on us. You know what I mean? So we legit missed out on Luka, right? But then at the same time, on this hand, we're like, Carmelo Anthony is a once in a lifetime player, man. We got to pay everything we got to get this guy. And then we get him. And then this same old Knicks, because we traded away everything we had for one player. While the kid is great, the kid is LaMelo. I mean, I'm sorry, not LaMelo, but Carmelo was legit a great NBA player, right? He was a great NBA player. My only thing is that I feel like we may have given away too much in order to get him. So I'm working on I'm working on sending in to my guy. Hold on. I'm working on sending the invite to one of my guys, y'all. So just bear with me while we do this. You know what? Let me do it like this. Seven eight SHFAP. All right. So I sent it, boss. You should be getting it in no time. Raphael, you should be getting it in no time, boss. All right. So it's the same link that I put in the StreamYard. So you should see the you should see it in the StreamYard thing. Yo, look at all these different people. Okay. Yo, look at all these different people in the broadcast. What's up, Port Arthur? Glad you came through. Look at all these people in here coming to check out Uncle Freezy and friends. The New York BA ball over. BA ball over. What's good with you? Hope chat. Arizona Alex, what's good? What's good with you? Hey, welcome to the broadcast, man. Look, y'all come back, man. I be wanting to talk to somebody. Just jump on here solely to listen. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all get on here, to listen, but not just to listen. I know y'all have facts and things, and y'all want to engage in the conversation as well. And listen, we want you to be in the conversation. So when you feel free to jump in, leave your comments and such. Long as you ain't no life insurance or nothing. If y'all came in here to talk sports or whatever, you know what I'm saying, leave your comments. Because listen, we read them live on air. Like, we read them live. So just brown liquid, but no, it's not hen. It's actually hot tea. It's a little nippy where I'm at. So, I mean, don't judge me, boss. Don't judge, because I see some of y'all laughing behind y'all screens and stuff. And while it may be funny, just don't embarrass somebody. So back to what we were saying. Hey, Teddy, you didn't. What's up, Devo Jr.? I'm gonna send it again, Ted. Hold on. I'm gonna send it through this chat. Just click on it. Devo Jr., what's good, man? Hey, what you think about what you think about the Knicks? Maybe looking to get LaMelo Ball. Hey, so I know this seems like a little unprofessional, but look, just bear with me. I'm trying to get my homeboy on here. I'm not for sure why it's not going through the regular way, but so I'm gonna send. All right, let me do. All right. Hey, thanks for the follow, bro. I saw that. Hey, I appreciate y'all. And look, listen, I promise y'all, I'm gonna give y'all everything I got while I'm on here because I know y'all spending time with me and y'all could be doing it with somebody else. And so I'm gonna try to keep it as 10 times 10 as I possibly can on these streams. That's why I don't mind the fans getting on or people that's looking to start their own joint getting on because I want to keep it a buck, man. I want to make sure it be fun for everybody. So just bear with me. I'm gonna get my man Raphael on in a second. Hey, he know he my guy, so seven, 8. S H F A D. Raphael, I just sent it to you, bro. I just sent it to you. Right? All right. So Teddy, I didn't see yours first. I would have been out of okay. All right. All right. Hey, Teddy, your thing went into the spam box on Twitter. That's why I didn't see it. I got you though. I got you right now. Bam. Got both of y'all. How about that? Both of y'all. So, hey, y'all check y'all emails. Hey, I appreciate that, Devo Jr. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me get back to this thing while my guys look to jump in. And pardon that too, man. So my guy Raphael and Teddy both are kind of new to this platform, to this thing. And I am too. I'm just like maybe a month ahead of them when it comes to jumping on and doing the sports talk stuff. My only thing is that when it comes to cats like that, I'm gonna extend the olive branch, whatever, do what I can to help them get on. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully have good conversation for the fans that don't want to jump on, but they just want to hear that sports talk stuff. Right? I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I ain't above none of y'all. I just like talking about sports, and then I also like hearing y'all takes on sports. To me, it's fun. Right. So I know I ain't the biggest guy yet. I mean, in terms of stature, I'm a big dude, 6'5.5", 323, down from 488. Yo, I'm down from 488. Yes, I'm down from 488 to 323. I'm trying to get down to about 240-ish eventually, and then maybe get down to like 225, something like that. But anyways, that's my story. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing with the Knicks, though. So the Knicks draft is interesting because there are a lot of moving parts, right? A lot of stuff. A lot of rumors from sources. A lot of just stuff, going on. From a lot of information from a lot of anonymous sources. And I guess that's the way it has to be at this point in the season or off season. The biggest thing concerning the Knicks, though, is LaMelo Ball. It's the LaMelo Ball story. And my fear is that, look who's in the building. So Teddy is working his way in. I don't know what he's got going on, but he just showed up on StreamYard. So shout out to Teddy Ted. There he is. My man is in the building. You ready to be added, boss?
Yeah. What's up?
All right, let me add. Yeah. Look who's in the building. Ted.
Let's talk that
There
Knicks
he
talk.
is. For sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're a little slow, but it's cool. I can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay. I'm not for sure was yeah. We good. I'm not for sure, man. I'm trying out some new tech. I got OBS going. I'm doing it from stream to YouTube and to Sportscast at the same time. Trying to do this multi-platform thing for the first time. So I have to work out some kinks in it.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So no, hey, Raphael, check out. I sent it. It's the same thing Teddy used.
He got to copy and he got to type it in.
Hey, Raphael, type. Hey. Let me see. I'm trying to send. Yeah, I'm not for sure what's going on with that, man. But so, what's your thoughts on us drafting LaMelo Ball?
Honestly, I think it's not a bad idea. I think he's the next coming to Jason Kidd, in my opinion. He needs to work on his shot like Jason Kidd did when he first came into the league, but his passing is one of a kind. I think he actually makes player around him better. I think that if under the right coaching situation, he can thrive. I think if he comes to the Knicks, we need to be patient with him. I think his first year is going to make a lot of turnovers. But you can't teach that type of height. Can't teach that type of ball handling and assist making like he does. So when it's tough because what are we gonna have to lose to get him? It's the question. You know, that's my main thing. Like I don't mind getting him, but it's just more of a what do we have to lose to get him? How you feel about that? Because I can't even hear you breaking up.
So so here's the thing. What do we have to lose? So depending on how you feel about the young core or how you there he is. But depending on how you feel about the and future draft pick, that goes into be willing to give up in order to get LaMelo, and then you have to also base it on what he brings to the table. Like I, for one, don't think he's as good as advertised, but I also think he be a legit answer to our problems, right? So
yeah.
So on the one hand, I feel like the guy is pretty good. I don't feel like he'll be great. You know what I mean?
See, I feel the same way.
And I don't want to pay the price of someone that's going to be great. Good.
What's up, fellas?
I don't feel like he'll be great if he's only going to be good.
And I feel the same way. Sense. I feel like he may be a big bargain.
Draft picks in 2020 and say Mitchell Robinson just to get LaMelo Ball. If he's only going to be good. And I feel the same way.
They got access the rest of your screens there, Moses.
Draft picks in 2020.
Or put it on mute.
Let me bring in my guy real quick.
Okay, cool. I just X'd it out, but thank you for the heads up, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, guys. What's going on, man? What's going on, Teddy?
Oh yeah, man. Another day at the office. It seemed like.
Yeah, man. I want to hear you guys talk, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Carry on.
We talking about LaMelo.
Yo, look who in the building.
Yes.
What's good, boss?
What's up, Freezy?
Hey, Freezy, a little slow for some reason.
You see, I'm good. Am I good though?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, cool.
That got feedback. Is that you, Raphael?
Man, listen, man, I'm just happy to be here, man. You don't even know, man. This is like a dream come true, man. I'm good just to be around, man. So carry on, man.
Yeah, that's good right there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Hey, Teddy was outlining his thought on LaMelo Ball.
I was just saying that LaMelo, I feel, in my opinion, is a huge gamble. Because of his shooting style. He played for a league, and he only played 12 games. We really don't have that much, advertisement on him.
He's super good. Teddy was talking about his thoughts on potentially trading up in the draft for LaMelo Ball.
Okay. I mean, right now I'm just all ears right now, man. Don't mind me, man. I kick in eventually.
Now, do you think it's
Hey,
worth?
he's like, hey, come on, dog. You our guy. You our guy, dog. It ain't like that.
Yeah,
We happy to have you here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here. I mean, I think.
Hey, go ahead, Teddy. Tell him what you was thinking about trading up for LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
This is my thing. I don't know exactly who we would give up to get LaMelo. That's the problem I have. I think it's a huge gamble. First off, I think that taking that risk is a huge risk, but high reward if it turns out great. Now the problem is it could be very bad, and we have 4 years with the guy.
I want to know. Okay, cool. I want to listen to. Which do you like more, LaMelo Ball, Russell Westbrook? Which one you like more?
Well, I don't like Russell's contract, so I would have to say LaMelo because he'd be on a rookie deal.
Right. Good point. So what would be your starting five then?
All right. So did they basically?
Honestly, my starting point, I would want to. Honestly, in my opinion, I felt like, and this is just my opinion, I honestly want Frank to start. I mean, we could pick up a veteran and have him, kind of show him along the way and have that veteran start. Okay. But honestly, I want the defense. I want a defensive team this year. Okay. We got Mitch. If Mitch is going to be our center, we know he's limited on offense. So why don't we dominate with the defense this year and kind of grow a system from there? We got the young players. We can add some pieces shooters. We can add shooters. There's no problem with that. I felt like this offseason was important because this is a long offseason this year. I feel like the players that need to improve on what they need to improve on can improve on it and really come in December with a bang.
Where does LaMelo Ball fit in your starting five then?
I don't want LaMelo. If LaMelo gets on the team, he has to start though. He has to start. He has to start.
So my whole thing is, so now I want to talk about who I want to draft. If it's okay, I want to talk about who I would want to draft and why. Okay. Last time you heard me, I'm very big on Wiseman. I think you guys we got an understanding of who I want to draft.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, for me, there's really no comparison.
Yeah, but again, I feel Wiseman gives me defense and offense, and Mitchell Robinson's jump shot. I find it difficult for. I find it difficult. You can't have 6 players at the same time on the floor. You only have 5, so it makes everything to the T, right?
Right.
So I got to work with my starting unit. My starting unit, it got to be as best as possible because at most I could have on the floor is 5. So that's why I'm very big on. Great, is he a rim roller like Mitchell Robinson? Great. Does he have a better jump shot? Yeah, and it goes down to that. And if I can have a Russell Westbrook, I imagine. So for me, I look at that situation. It's hard. I mean, I'm gonna go with a different theory today because you already heard my James Wiseman. Why would I go with James Wiseman? But today there's a conversation about Russell Westbrook, right? It's like a Russell Westbrook. There's a conversation about Obi Toppin. So I'm gonna look at that situation like, how would Russell Westbrook and RJ work? Because we have seen last year Russell Westbrook and James Harden, and they work well together, right? I mean, I don't think that was well. Those 2 guys together, I think they're fine, and I don't think Russell Westbrook has a problem deferring to RJ Barrett. I don't think he's going to have that problem. The situation happens with the forwards. What's going to happen with Kevin Knox? What's going to happen with Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson? And how are they going to work with RJ Barrett and Russell Westbrook? So my whole thing is today. So a power forward, this is not my thinking. This is what's being, with the media, right? They're saying Obi Toppin. The Knicks are very big on Obi Toppin. Okay, great. So he's going to be a starting power forward. So okay, great. So that he's a stretch 4, right? Yeah. So that's a stretch 4. Okay, so great. So you have Russell Westbrook, who can't shoot the three. You have RJ, who shot 35% three-point shooter. And then you have an Obi Toppin who can shoot the three, right? Though let's keep it in context. Yes, he's not a good defender, but again, you do have Davis Bertans, who's not a great defender either, and people love him. They'll pay him $15-20 million. So, how big is defense in the power forward position? It's a good conversation in itself, right? Because even when you say, "Oh, the Knicks should go after Aaron Gordon," Aaron Gordon is a great perimeter defender. But most people will tell you he's not that great as a power forward, right?
Yeah.
And he can't space the floor, this, that, and the third. So it becomes a question at the power forward: how great of a defender do you want in that power forward position? That's a monster on its own, right? That's a different monster on its own. So if you have Russell Westbrook, RJ, and Obi Toppin spacing the floor, that could work. So then you have the small forward position. Russell Westbrook and RJ are also great defenders. I want to keep that in context about what you're talking about, Teddy, about defense, right? So you want to have a great defense. Well, you're talking about Russell Westbrook, who's going to get you 1 or 2 steals per game.
Absolutely.
He's a hawk on the floor.
Absolutely.
RJ, he's also a dog on the floor too. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be, they're hungry. They're gonna give you a lot of effort. If you want to talk about effort, they're going to give you a lot of effort, right? And I don't think Russell Westbrook has a problem understanding that it's RJ's team and that eventually it's going to be, it's going to be all RJ, and while he does the best he can. So my whole thing is, I think if you have an Obi Toppin, that's not something I consider a player I consider drafting, but I think it could possibly work if you have, that's like an athletic starting.
Yeah, that's a super athletic start.
That seems like they say if you don't have great defense, you can sort of make it up with athleticism.
Right.
And I think that they sort of can. And so it becomes a question about if Mitch is still around playing center, great, he can rim roll. And Russell's gonna go for his triple-double, okay? And then you have now the question is small forward. Do you want to go with Kevin Knox, or do you want to go with Iggy, or do you want to draft another small forward in the 27th pick? And I think it's not as terrible as I think. I think the drama with getting Russell Westbrook is possibly bigger than it is. Okay, I don't think it's as bad. The idea of getting Russell Westbrook is as bad as people think. I think it can actually work. And I think they got the muscle. I think you could possibly have the shooting, and whatever they lack on defense, they can make it up with the athleticism. That's what I want to say to that.
See, I'm glad that you're bringing this up because I think Russell Westbrook, in my opinion, will actually, I think he'll take it to the playoffs and we'll be a good 8th seed.
I believe that too.
And that's it, though.
That's what, Orlando. Boston was doing that for 3 years. Jason Tatum's been in the playoffs since his rookie season, so he's been in the first round, second round. He's not going to win the finals, and sometimes for rookies, you need that. I think you need that playoff experience.
Now, what do you like so much about Russell Westbrook that we couldn't get out of Kira?
With Kira Lewis?
Yes.
You're not gonna get 25 and 20 and 15 rebounds and 10 assists every single game, and you're not gonna get
turnovers. He gonna have during that,
and 2 steals.
He averaged like 8 turnovers.
8 turnovers. No, look reference. This guy's giving you 3 turnovers, but you're looking 3 turnovers per game, right?
Yeah, I was just being funny. All
right, cool. So. Again, I think Russell Westbrook could work, and I'm glad you kind of started that conversation, and I'm glad that I can support it, right? Support that argument because I think it's very valid that it could work.
Absolutely.
I think we have a relationship that's soured for many different reasons between KD and Russell Westbrook.
Ooh, that rivalry would be crazy.
Yeah, but their relationship, it's overhyped. And again, seeing Russell Westbrook gel well with James Harden proves that he could play with other people. And I think he's gonna prove that again if he gets traded to the Knicks, or if he gets traded to the Clippers. I actually think the Clippers. Paul George needs his help a lot because
I ain't gonna lie.
Paul George has had his best career with Russell Westbrook. His OKC years were the best years in his career,
Right.
and everybody was looking up to Paul George like, wow, man, Paul George is such a great player. And now every single day, this guy's getting dogged in the playoffs, getting dogged in the media the other day, 2 days ago, about him proposing to his fiance who had his baby, this, that, and third. And so he gets a lot of bad publicity, but when he was in OKC, man, those were the good years. So I think Russell Westbrook, who is from California, could work well with the Clippers if he doesn't come to the Knicks. I think that could work too.
Now you got me kind of hyped thinking about Russ and Mitch together. Now, let me ask you about this. Let's say we do get Russ. We lose some assets, but we still got enough room to get Kelly Oubre. How would you feel about that?
I gotta work one at a time. I can't.
Okay.
I gotta look. That's too many. I either take one or the other.
Okay.
And I think the problem is we had a conversation with Teddy. With you, Teddy, you was there, but with Freezy too about Frank and that situation. So that point guard situation is a serious situation. You can't underestimate that situation because at best, I think Frank is more like a Reggie Bullock kind of guy. He's a great defender, but you don't want to have him be the main focus at least at this point of his career. If he starts to give you Russell Westbrook numbers or good offensive numbers, then fine. But at this point right now, you need somebody who's gonna demand respect across the league, who everybody knows. You gotta give your best because you gotta face Russell Westbrook next week against the Knicks. So
who's averaging
that sounds to me. So and RJ Barrett, Russell Westbrook and RJ Barrett. Right. You gotta, teams will gear up for that, and that's kind of interesting if it works right. If it's coached right and if it's done right, and Russell Westbrook could possibly take advantage of the coaching that we have with Tibbs and Kenny Payne and Johnny Bryan. He's another one that could use that too.
Yeah.
So you can never learn. You can never, unless he acts like he's a know-it-all, then that's a different conversation. But I think if he's a listener, wants to get better, believes he's the best player. In order to be the best player in this league, you gotta have the biggest ears, and you gotta take criticism, and you gotta continue to get better. So I think he could benefit from that kind of coaching staff we have.
Who do you give up to get?
Okay.
Who would you give up? Yes.
Okay. Now I'm not the biggest. See, this is why I'm talking Russell Westbrook, because I'm not the biggest holding on to draft assets, all this, holding on to no.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind holding some, but I look at this is what the thing, and this is what I look at. I look at Boston, I look at Philly, and I look at Utah, and all those three teams are always going to the playoffs. They got their Mike Conley, right? Utah got Mike Conley, and they go to the playoffs every year. Philly has Tobias Harris. Before they got Tobias Harris, Gordon Hayward went to Boston, spent $35 million, and whatever. And they're going to the playoffs. And they only draft like one player or two per year. They're not trying to.
But it was a process.
They're not trying to draft like 3 or 4 players every year. Even Boston, you're hearing, we don't want all these draft picks. We want to trade up. We don't want all this. Like I said, because who's your starting five. Your starting five is Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Everything else, and if they could trade off for James Wiseman, then they're happy with that, and they'll just keep building with that situation. So My whole thing is we have RJ Barrett. I think he's our main guy. Mitchell Robinson might be. Obi Toppin possibly might be our main guy if we draft him, or if we draft him, or if we draft whoever we draft. We're gonna have two main pieces, I think. So I don't know. You also have Iggy in the G League. You have Iggy, Kenny Wooten, that whole situation. So we have to get rid of players, man. Whether that's Frank, DSJ, I know you.
See, I love me some Frank.
It's a Frank, but again, but you also like the 2021 draft pick. So I make you choose. I'm not making that choice. I leave that up to people like you guys. Who you rather get rid of, a 2021 pick or get rid of Frank, and it's something's got to give.
I feel like Frank is the perfect Tibbs defensive player. He's like a smaller Luol Deng to me.
So what do you value more, 2021 pick or Frank?
I keep Frank. I honestly think
2021 pick. Which one of them?
If I was to give a 2021 to Frank,
to Houston, to Houston, you're either giving up either Frank.
I don't like that deal.
Huh?
I personally don't like that deal. Me personally, I feel like we could spend that $40 million on something else. There's other, there's the only problem I have with Russ. If Russ, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He's erratic and he can't shoot threes. In the playoffs, they was lagging off him so bad, and it was like they treat him like he a center. I ain't like that at all. You know what I mean? At least with Frank, you know what you're getting. He's a pick and roll guy. He's gonna throw the perfect passes to
Frank is 6 points.
And then he runs an offense. That's all I need him to do. I need his defense. And you know what? He may not be playing. We're not talking about 30, 35 minutes. He may be playing 25 minutes. But we need somebody that
I don't think his production on offense is gonna be that much bigger with 25 minutes. Maybe he'll get 10 points then.
I think that this long off season was beneficial to all the young players.
Right.
In my opinion. If you see in the bubble, a lot of these players that came in from the bubble look like they was fourth.
Okay. I want to bring that conversation back. You said that a lot of teams are lagging off of Russell Westbrook, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And about his contract, and now. What about Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons is very similar to that, right?
Absolutely.
Great defender. People log back after him, and he continues to give you a triple double every single game, right?
Right.
So you're telling me you're gonna prefer you rather hold on to Frank's final contract, Dennis Smith Jr.'s final contract, than make a playoff push with Russell Westbrook and RJ Barrett?
I personally just want to see how they work with the consistent system. They got the assistant coaches now. They got a great shooting coach now. They had a long offseason now to kind of get everybody together with the mind frame is from Tibbs to go they're on forward. And I feel like we just missing one. We need one good shooter, just one. It could be a Steve Novak type of guy. It don't even matter. Just one good shooter, and the whole thing changes.
All right, but I'm just going to put emphasis that, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Ben Simmons, Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson is going to make the playoffs next season for sure. He's not.
They have a good team though. They have a really good team.
They have one. Well, he mainly has Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball.
But they also got a veteran leading them in JJ Redick as well though. Like that's a good team.
Right, that's a good point. JJ Redick. Right. I forget him because he's 36 years old. But long story short, how patient do you expect RJ Barrett to have a backcourt with Frank, who's playing great defense, giving you 6 points, may give you 10 points, but it might take him 30 minutes to get that. But how patient do you see RJ Barrett winning 25 games, winning 32 games, winning 35 games? How many games when you yourself said trading for Russell Westbrook for sure will get us to the playoffs?
See, I can't really say too much when there were two coaches last season, so it's kind of hard to measure RJ Barrett's, productivity when you had two systems in the middle of the season. It's kind of hard to measure these young guys, and then watching Iggy in the G League balling out. That's somebody's coming out the bench. Who I feel may be underrated right now.
So you would. So my question to you is: you rather not have a Russell Westbrook and draft a Kira Lewis as your backup point guard instead of having Frank and having Dennis Smith Jr.?
That's a good one. My thing is, can we draft Kira with all the assets that we're going to be giving away to get Russ?
Okay, that's a good conversation. But you might have to give up a 2020 or a 22 pick or a 22. I don't know what pick is. I'm not making the calls.
You said bring a small thing.
The conversation is. So you're okay with the idea of if we can get Kira Lewis as your backup point guard? You're saying?
Yeah, it's tough because we.
Okay. I'm gonna stay there. I'm gonna bring the conversation to Freezy. It looks like you got to think about it a little long in that conversation. Freezy, okay. I want to hear what you got. I want to hear what you got to think about that. What do you think about what I'm saying? What do you think about Westbrook? I don't hear him.
I don't know why it's going so slow for him.
I don't hear him.
But you know what though?
I don't hear you. I don't hear you.
Point though. To you. The point. It wasn't just a random player sagging off. But with Westbrook jump shot though, it wasn't just with Westbrook jump shot, just a random guy.
Yeah, me and you, Moses, we on that. I don't know why his is real slow.
Oh, his is real slow.
Hello?
So basically it all comes down to if we can draft another point guard in this draft, then getting Westbrook might be worth it, you're saying, Teddy?
Say that one more time.
If we can draft a point guard, whether it's Kira Lewis, Tyrell Terry, Trey Jones, if you could draft a point guard this year, you would consider shipping. It wouldn't break your arm to trade Frank and Dennis Smith Jr. in a package to get Russell Westbrook.
I think it comes down to I don't really want work. I think my heart doesn't really want Russ. I think that's what it comes down to. I think I like what he brings to the table, but the timing's terrible, in my opinion. While we're doing a rebuild,
right. But the timing is also terrible with Chris Paul, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander too. He's 36 years old, though 35.
But they had a veteran and Steven Adams there. You know what I mean? Like we have no veterans on his team.
We got Taj Gibson. I don't know how much Taj Gibson could give you.
He's like a coach. I mean, yeah, I understand. He ain't actually on the floor though. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. It's like it's different when you have a starting like veteran on the floor to like kind of lead the guys while Tibbs is. That's the only reason I wanted Chris Paul, because he's more of a coach on the floor. Don't get me wrong. I think Russ, he just got he is such a dog. I love his game. Don't get me wrong. I love his game. It's just the contract with the salary cap going down. It's all the above. Now this is why I say Kira would be a good pick because he's so fast.
Right.
In the open court that I feel that he would give a lot of our players open passes. And him and Mitch on the pick and roll, you got to either stop Kira from going to the rim or he throwing a lob to Mitch every go, or if they sagging off, RJ's wide open every trip. You got to pick your poison when that guy comes into the game. And I like Frank just being enough. He can be the two guard. They had two ball handlers on the floor. Frank helps out Kira's bad defense.
I don't see RJ wanting to move from that shooting guard position. I don't know why. I
think they can make him a 3 though.
Right, he might be a better 3, but I just think like he's just so useless since his Duke. It was him, Cam Reddish, Zion Williamson. It's just like it's in.
Even if Frank's a backup, I think that gives us room to get me personally. I'd rather get Kelly Oubre. Me personally, somebody who's still young,
right?
He can be part of the development. Right. He a dog.
You might be right, but I was just having a conversation about Westbrook because that's what's being talked about today. It was in news reports. I gotta, you know.
Yeah, I feel you. It's unfortunate because I think it's just hype right now because the draft is coming up. Like, who could we get possibly? I don't want him. Let him go to Clippers and mess up their team. You know, I just, you know, I think he's a good. I don't think he should
hijack this whole show from Freezy. I don't know how I did it. I did that.
And even that Freezy stuff is so slow.
Oh, okay, but I didn't. Okay, cool. I don't want to hijack somebody's show. I just want to be.
No, that's funny though. That's funny.
All right, cool. Carry on. So you were saying that I lost track of what you said. What was the last comment? What was the last thing you said right now?
As far as I'm sorry, I'm up to reading comments. So he said he'd be right back.
Cool.
Me personally, I like the Russell. It's a good topic to talk about.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's the fit for us. We need somebody who can hit an open 3 from 3, and I think we could get that in the draft. Me personally, without having to spend all this money with the salary cap going down, and we could get a established young vet who we can build on, and he could probably be a good mentor to RJ Barrett because he got that dog in him as well. This is my opinion. Nobody's talking about it.
Let's keep it perspective, right? I'm talking short-term investment, right? Short-term playoffs, right? It's not like I'm not trying to keep Russell Westbrook or CP3 into a 10-year contract. We're talking 2 or 3 years. Just like, look, when you talk CP3, you're telling me until the end of his contract, and then you'll say thank you and keep it moving. Am I correct?
Yeah.
CP3, are you trying to resign CP3?
Oh no! I think CP3 is a Euro step from turn as a
end of his contract, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's to the end of his contract, right?
Yeah.
So the same thing with Russell Westbrook. I don't know how long his contract.
He got an extra year.
Huh?
He got an extra year on his.
Oh, he got another. But we could trade him. Look. My whole thing is
it's gonna be hard.
So that's probably the turnoff. He has an extra year. But look, if OKC was able to trade for Russell Westbrook, for Chris Paul, right? And they were able to trade him the following year, so long as he picks a destination, right?
Yeah.
Then I think we're not going to be trapped into a situation we don't want to be in, right? So that's the whole thing. The relationship is important. Russell Westbrook did say he'll go to New York. If we keep him for a year, then great. And then we'll say, hey, Russell Westbrook, I think we're good for now. I think the team is good. I think RJ Barrett has improved this game. I think Iggy improved this game. I think Obi has improved this game. I think right now we're looking to go into a different direction, and we want to get a Steven Adams next season. And what team would you want to play for? Just like OKC did it. So that's my whole thing is that it's not just because I talk Russell Westbrook to you doesn't mean that I'm trying to hold on to him for 3 years too. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, I can see that.
I want to bring that new format. I want to keep that into the conversation that whatever. So that way, it's not crazy talk to say I want to get Russell Westbrook. It's not crazy talk to say I want to get Paul George. It's all right. Because the idea is if OKC was able to get Chris Paul and for a year and take him to the playoffs, then it's okay to get Freezer. Can you hear me?
That's a lot better.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
That's a lot better.
Yeah, I told Teddy, man, I'm like, yo, man, I think I hijacked your show. I'm a little short now. I'm like, yo, man,
Hey, God of Moses, are you using your superpowers?
I don't know, possibly.
It wasn't my God of Moses is using his superpowers.
I didn't know. I didn't mean no. I don't want to hijack nobody's show, but I just want to Freezy, you understand? Like when you have these kind of conversations, your context, what you're trying to say matters. So I had to explain to him that just because we're having a Russell Westbrook conversation, right, doesn't mean that I'm trying to hold on to Russell Westbrook to the end of his contract, or that we want to do that. The idea is we seen OKC trade for Chris Paul, and he took them to the playoffs for 1 year, and then the following year they say, hey, where do you want to go to, Chris Paul? Oh, I would want to go to the Clippers, or I would want to go to the Knicks. That's what they're saying, and that's the same thing. So trading for Westbrook is the same thing. Trading for Paul George is the same conversation. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I get it. But the thing is, though, what we have to realize is Knicks fans are going to have different opinions on who they feel like is the solution to the point guard position. Like some feel like we should draft a point guard now and allow him to make his mistakes because with the mindset that he'll be great later on. But then you also have a group that feels like we need to get a stopgap, like a DJ Augustine or a Rajon Rondo, and then draft a guy late in this draft and have that veteran groom a guy. And then you also have the group that you just mentioned that feel like a Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook may be the short and long-term answer. And I say short and long-term, meaning long-term answer for us is about 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
But Teddy was saying everything you said. Teddy said the same thing. Teddy said drafting Kira Lewis, possibly. Well, you explain it, Teddy, so that way I don't want to throw.
Yeah. So basically,
no, I heard him. I heard everything Teddy said. I was actually talking, but the old school computer I was on had a mic issue. Hey, thanks Legion of Knicks podcast for trying to deep six the broadcast. I'm gonna plug into the Ethernet cord. Guillermo said that a couple of nights ago. Freezy, why don't you plug into the Ethernet cord? And every time I plug into it, I have that same issue that I had just now. I was on this computer back here. You know, so if y'all notice, I'm at a different angle. I'm across the room on the laptop, but I could hear everything that Teddy was saying, and some of it I agree with, and some of it is I'm still like in that gray area where I would agree if it was a generic NBA team, but we're not a generic NBA team. We're the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? And we had point guard issues going back as far as Raymond Felton.
But my whole thing is, as a stopgap, let's talk about the stopgap for a second, right? And that's the name of the game I want to talk about. What stops you? What makes you say Russell Westbrook is not a good stopgap point guard, and also drafting a point guard not a good idea?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
We're talking about stopgap point guards, right?
Yeah.
You remember saying that? Getting a stopgap point guard?
Yeah.
Teddy, I got you, Teddy. I got you. I'm trying to get Freezy in that conversation. So, can he hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What I'm saying is,
what about Russell Westbrook as a stopgap point guard, and also drafting? I don't know about LaMelo Ball because that might be too high. But let's just say R.J. Hampton. Let's just say Killian Hayes. Let's say Kira Lewis.
No, for the sake of this conversation, let's say. And I'm just like Simmons saying, the whole Westbrook thing, I like Westbrook. I don't know if he will fit this team based on what the team makeup is today. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know what the team makeup is going to be after the draft. So if we were able to acquire Russell Westbrook, if we had, say, a team capable of making it to the playoffs, possibly advancing, then I'd be okay for Russell Westbrook. Right now, though, I would be okay with a LaMelo Ball, Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham, whoever you want your future point guard to be if it's a young player. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is because You have a Mitchell Robinson that's super young, entering his third year, right? You have a Frank Ntilikina that's super young, entering his fourth year, though he's still very young. You have a Kevin Knox entering his third year. You have a R.J. Barrett entering his second year. And these are the players that you're potentially building your team around. While it doesn't sound like something that'll knock you out, it still is what it is, plus the young guy we get. So if you look to add a Russell Westbrook plus the best available point guard, say the best available point guard falls to us at 8, say it's LaMelo Ball, right? I'm not going to pass on LaMelo just because I have Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. And you can't. The draft is first before the free agency, I think. But my whole thing.
But you'll be trading for Westbrook. Westbrook's not a free agent.
No. I said no. You're correct. You're correct. The draft is first. So if you have a LaMelo Ball, absolutely, I'm not getting a Russell Westbrook. I got you on that. But my whole thing is, there's two things. One, Tibbs doesn't like going with a rookie point guard in the first year. Am I correct or no?
That was in years past. But you have to look at what you have to look at though is the Bulls and the Timberwolves were never in a position where they needed a super young point guard, right? And as a matter of fact, when Tibbs got to Chicago, they had an MVP caliber player at point guard already, right? They go to Chicago and he goes to Minnesota and he drafts a guy and Lauri Markkanen, who we think would be a legit player at the position, but he's packaged with Zach LaVine and the Jimmy Butler deal on draft night, right? So he was never in a situation where he could draft like the legit best point guard in any given draft. So we can't say that Thibodeau wouldn't play a rookie point guard. The opportunity for him to play a high-level point guard that was a rookie was never there.
Okay, so you think that Tibbs would play a rookie would want a rookie point guard? You're saying?
Yeah, I think Tibbs would play the best available player.
Okay, so I think. Okay,
yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, cool. So, right, of course, if it's LaMelo Ball, hey, listen, he's a special player. Absolutely, if we can get LaMelo Ball, totally understandable. But my whole thing is, are you opposed to the idea of getting a stop and gap point guard like a DJ Augustine, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, and trading Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. and getting Kira Lewis, Trey Jones, Tyrell Terry. You follow what I said?
I feel what you're saying. Me personally, I don't.
No, I know. I got you. I feel like Frieza hasn't answered me. I want him to answer that question.
Yeah. No doubt. What I'm saying is what I would say is this. I'm all for the best available player at the position. I don't care what these dudes' names are. You know what I'm saying? I just want the Knicks to win and make progress towards winning. You know what I'm saying? And if we're not going to win or not make the playoffs, then I say play all the young guys and let them get that valuable game experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'll give you an example of I don't think
Tibbs is going to go for that. I don't know. I have that feeling, man. I don't think Tibbs is like this whole, hey, man, let's just play the young guys, and if we win 25 games, man, I don't think that's Tibbs, man. I don't think R.J. Barrett's off that makeup either. I don't think Jason Tatum's off that makeup, Jaylen Brown. I don't think Zion Williamson's like that. I don't think that these new players want to come here.
But you can't compare us to Boston and New Orleans. That's what I keep saying. So the reason why you can't compare us is because the Knicks never get the number one pick. The Knicks never get the number 2 and the number 3 pick in the draft. We don't fortune doesn't fall enough like that where we can get a Jason Tatum. When's the last time we were in a position to get a Jason Tatum or Zion Williamson or Jaylen Brown?
Well, you have RJ, and look, my whole thing is you have RJ at the moment, and you have a chance to pair him up. As soon as Boston got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they immediately went after $35 million on Gordon Hayward. Why they did that, I don't know. But that's the first thing. Look at Google. You can Google it. The first player they signed was Gordon Hayward for $35 million. Why would they do that? I don't know.
Like a Brad Stevenson guy.
Okay, great. He's a Brad Stevenson guy. I don't know why would they want to steal him from Utah and pull that move. We don't
actually stealing from Miami. He was never going back to Utah. The two top players were the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics.
It's not act like people were shocked that he didn't go back to Utah because he was a Utah player. But my whole thing is for the point of making the playoffs and making the team win and get the team better. Boston, once you give Boston that opportunity to make the team better, Boston did it. Yes or no? So yes, so they did it. So my whole thing is, if you have a chance to get a Chris Paul and this opportunity, or Westbrook, this opportunity to go to the playoffs, because I'm not trying to have this conversation without having Tibbs and not a playoff conversation.
Yeah, the only flaw with your conversation.
If Teddy didn't say playoffs, I probably wouldn't have this conversation that much.
I feel you. The only problem with your Boston analogy is that they drafted them players first, so they had their core. So by the time they started signing people, they already had the rebuild already started. So that's what the Knicks need to do. We got the assets, and once we draft correctly, the new regime, watch what happens after that.
So you said,
the other thing too, Rafi, I didn't realize is the Boston Celtics had the number 1 pick in the draft. They traded down 2 spots in order to get Jason Tatum and acquire more draft picks. The Knicks have never been in that situation, is what I'm saying.
Those picks away. They're giving them away right now. Those picks, they want to get rid of them. But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this 5-year window. See, I'm talking about since Porzingis, since we drafted Porzingis. The Knicks have never been in a situation like we drafted Porzingis, and then every draft after that, we either stayed in the same spot or moved back in the lottery. You know what I'm saying? So we don't get fortune like that. So that's the reason why I'm saying you can't compare the Knicks to the New Orleans Pelicans, who had the number 1 pick twice. They drafted Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson since they've been in New Orleans. I'm not even talking about since they moved from Charlotte. That's a good home run right there. That's a good hit. That's a good hit right there.
But what I'm saying is, but with the Knicks, when's the last time the Knicks have been in a situation where we've been in a position to get the number 1 pick and have gotten the number 1 pick? That means a lot, because even if you don't draft number 1, you can trade back and get more assets, so that in the situation that Raphael is referring to, we still have more assets to deal with. So if we swing and miss, guess what? We still have more assets. In the situation we're in right now, if we swing and miss, guess what? We have a bust draft pick, making a lot of money, and no assets to make up for the fact that we made a swing and miss.
I think this is a good transfer question. Who's our core right now?
RJ. I start off with just RJ. I don't know. I feel like the Knicks need to make a trade.
So you think that's the only party that's off limits?
I mean, Mitchell Robinson sort of. I mean, it depends on the right team. I think Mitchell Robinson, if the team is built more correctly, if the team has more shooters, then maybe we don't need Mitchell Robinson to be taking more jump shots. But right now, because there's so many lack of shooting, you kind of want a center that can shoot the ball more.
Okay, let's say that's RJ and Mitch.
Too, because he needs to shoot better threes. He shot his only season with the Knicks. He shot 27%. With the Pelicans, he did shoot 36%. Do we want Julius Randle to shoot better from the 3? Absolutely. If he can shoot 35% and up, that would be great. Or if we can, and also Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox is non-existent. The small forward position is like one of the most forgotten positions that you forget that you need. That you don't even know who's there no more. You're like, oh, small forward Kevin Knox. You're like, if we could get a Gordon Hayward or Tobias Harris at the small forward, that could probably help out the roster, space the floor out.
I feel you. I just don't want to make the same mistakes.
You don't need a point guard like you're saying, Teddy. We could just probably it might be better just to get a Tobias Harris and just have Frank and DSJ at the point guard and just have RJ at the backcourt, and just when you need a 3 ball, you can just pass it to Tobias Harris, and if Julius Randle gets better shooting the 3, you could pass him the ball out 2, and you could have Mitchell Robinson rim rolling.
I get what you. Tobias, you kind of messed me up with the Tobias Harris stuff.
I mean, we're talking shooting. We're talking shooting because the thing is, Tobias Harris' strength is shooting the ball, and I don't. Somebody got to. I mean, RJ's a decent shooter. He's not a great shooter. Julius Randle is a decent. I mean, he's Julius Randle. I think is more of a scorer. He's not a shooter.
Yeah.
And those two guys that they're like 30. They're hovering 32, 30. 35% threes, around there. at their best, when they're having, in their best, they're shooting 35% from three, and you need somebody who's going to give you, who's going to make up for their lack.
I totally understand.
Well,
I think we need a shooter so bad that
yeah. Hey, so I understand where y'all coming from with that. My only thing is this: we should establish a direction and go right. Not consider all these different directions. Like, what if we can get Westbrook? Hey, we need a young point guard. We need to develop the young guys. So we need one direction. That's where I'm coming from. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't want to get any bad we may pick up one bad contract, but I don't want it to be 40 million. I don't want it to be in the high 30 millions. If I'm gonna take a bad contract, I'll take a player that's making 25 million, maybe. I wouldn't mind a bad contract in who's the guy in Utah that they're thinking about getting rid of? The point guard.
Mike Conley.
I wouldn't mind a Conley.
Okay, I don't mind having that conversation about Mike Conley too.
I just want to be realistic. You know what I mean? I still want to have my assets. I still want to have the room to rebuild. Honestly, I still want Frank. Frank on the team. I think Frank, Mitch, and RJ is the core to me.
What's the core?
Frank Ntilikina is part of the core.
I think his defense is Tibbs style. It sounds funny, but he's like a little Luol Deng. I'm telling you,
man. Ted, we have this conversation all the time. Every time the Knicks change coaches, somebody's like, this coach right here is exactly what Frank needs. So when we went from Fizdale, went to Fizdale from Hornacek, we were like, well, Hornacek didn't know what he was doing, right?
He didn't.
And then Fizdale gets fired, and then they're like, well, Mike Miller is exactly what Frank needs. He understands Frank. He can develop.
Mike was in a lose situation.
And then now Tibbs is here, and they're like, well, Mike Miller was just coaching for his career. He didn't know what to do with Frank. Tibbs is here. Now Tibbs will save the day.
Crazy. I want to make a point with that. And my point is that it might be true. It might be true that Frank Ntilikina might fit with every coach. As long as you play defense and pass the ball, you're always going to fit great with every coach. But that's not the problem. We want him to shoot. So that's the problem.
But here's the thing. Listen, I will go buy a Frank Ntilikina T-shirt today if you prove this point to me, right? So what has Frank Ntilikina done that has impacted winning? If you can explain to me Frank's impact on winning by changing coaches, listen, I'll be a Frank. I'm already a Frank supporter. I just think people overrate Frank. Frank. I think he's overrated.
Wait, I'm not trying to overrate him, and I'm not trying to make him sound like he's a starter in this league and this, that, and the third. All I'm trying to keep in context is that his style of play, yes, is he in my eyes, is he a starter? No, right now, no, he's not a starter. No, I wouldn't start him. Okay. But my whole thing is in terms of coaches and Frank, I think Frank will most likely get along well with every coach. But that's not the problem. His problem is him being aggressive on offense, which I think you agree.
I think he's been playing out of position. Like he's a corner 3-point shooter. That's what we found out through the years. At the end of the last 2 months. Let me get my point out. Last 2 months.
That's Teddy's argument.
The last 2 months. Before this Corona stuff happened, Frank was balling. He finally was getting into his zone. Then we get to, we got to stop play. We can look at the stats and see how he improves so much every year.
How much are you going to sign Frank Ntilikina, Teddy? How much are you going to sign him for when his contract is up?
Nothing.
I give him 3 years, 30. That's it. I give him 10.
3 years, 30. Are you giving Frank Ntilikina $10 million a year for 6 points a game?
He's not even at his peak yet. This guy's just not.
Dude.
I'm telling you, we seen what he did in FIBA. We seen glimpses of what he can do.
Teddy, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like in every draft, you can always get a player in the lottery. But in the top 10, you can always get a better player than Frank Ntilikina. It's very possible.
He's a top 3 pick and roll defender in the league at point guard. Let's think about that for a second. The hardest.
So you're gonna who would you take, LaMelo Ball or Frank?
Oh, that's not even a. You're gonna take LaMelo.
Okay,
You're gonna take LaMelo, but I want Frank still on the team. He's a piece for a championship team. That's all I'm saying.
Frank is not a piece for a championship team. Okay, how many championships has Frank Ntilikina won?
He's still growing. He's not in his prime yet.
Answer this question. What team won the NBA championship this year? The Lakers, right? Right. Frank Ntilikina start over Rajon Rondo. You know Frank Ntilikina is not starting over no Rajon Rondo.
That type of defense. You don't think he was
Here's my other question. Who did the Lakers beat in the championship? The Miami Heat.
The Miami Heat, yes.
So Frank Ntilikina will get heavy minutes in that Miami Heat guard rotation. No. Frank ain't getting minutes over Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, Goran Dragic, or Tyler Hero.
Frank is more of a finisher. He's more of a finisher as stopping the best player.
Frank is more of a project. That's what Frank is, in my opinion. Frank is more of a project. And so instead of injecting him into like starting rotations and all that stuff, we should be like, no, Frank, you're not getting starting point guard minutes until you can increase the value in which the minutes you've played that you put out here on the floor. I'm not giving you anything. You've been here 3 years. When you prove that you can score and defend, then we'll give you more minutes. That's what we should be saying about Frank Ntilikina.
Well said, man. Well said, Fizz. You said it right there, man.
So Frank should be a trade piece with Knox.
Knox is doing worse than Frank. I mean, that's another headache. I don't know about Knox. Man.
I think it's the inconsistency of a system, in my opinion.
No. It's them. It's their projects. The thing is that Phil Jackson, he was just drafting projects. You know, Frank,
right.
KP was a project, and Frank was a project, and KP worked out, and Frank is, I don't know.
The scary thing about all this is,
the Knicks would have drafted Donovan Mitchell. The Knicks would have been better off. It doesn't matter what this would have put in Donovan Mitchell in. He would have been who he is.
And this is the scary thing.
Let me say something real quick. Hey, so if y'all like the conversations that y'all hearing, subscribe to the channel, like this video. It goes a long way to the confidence of me and Teddy and Raphael, so that we can continue to do this thing and at higher quality. The more y'all chime in with y'all liking, which y'all don't like, we'll be able to produce better content. But grow this channel, man. So when I logged in, it was like 58 subscriptions, and I've been at it for quite some time. I get positive feedback all the time, but I don't get subs, which is baffling to me. So if there's some real stuff out there that we're not doing right or don't necessarily attract y'all to YouTube, let me know so that I can either stop what I'm doing and go get a day job or do a better job on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to do a better job on YouTube. So, subscribe to the channel. I want to get this channel up to at least 200 subscriptions by around Christmas time. Right now, I think it's like at 58. And the reason why I say that is because these conversations that I have with Raphael and Rick Wall and Teddy and Art and everybody, people tend to like them. But we can't spread it to the masses if we don't improve our standing with the YouTube algorithm, right? So like the video, comment in the comment section below, like y'all been doing, and subscribe to the channel. That way, every time we go live with guests and stuff, and I say guests, but these are homies. Teddy and Raphael know they got a lifetime contract, no paperwork. You know what I'm saying? We do the virtual shake hands, like these cats is good as long as they stay good. You know what I'm saying? So. It's just, hey, I appreciate that the NYK Knicks. I appreciate that, man. Hey, and feel free to, man, come on. As long as you respectful, not like trying to sell porn or sell life insurance during the thing we talk about the Knicks, we good. Yeah. As long as you sharp and got good takes and respectful, man, we'll have y'all on. You know what I'm saying? The only thing though is this. We gonna present quality. Like the dudes on here gonna be smart. They're gonna have smart takes and they're gonna be thoughtful. So if you feel like you somebody like that, man, you welcome to come on at any time. You know what I'm saying? My main thing is we serving the audience and we got to give the audience 100% of the best of what we have, and we're gonna continue to do that every night. So I just wanted to say that, y'all. I'm sorry, I ain't mean it, but I gotta do the business. You know what I'm saying? I gotta put receipts and stuff out there.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Raphael.
So what so you're happy with the point guard situation, Freezy? Who's your point guard?
I'm not happy with the point guard situation, and I have not been happy with the point guard situation since.
I mean, going to next season. I'm talking about going to next season. Are you moving them? Are you keeping them? What are you doing? That's what I want to know. Because But you can't just make a blanket assessment. You can't just say I'm moving the point guards. You have to be looking to improve. You know what I'm saying? If I can improve them, I'm not going to ship them out just for the sake of shipping. You know what I'm saying? I have to be able to improve. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't want to trade a old horse for an old mule. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hustle backwards. So if there is a quality point guard out there that we can use to improve the team for the next 1 to 2 years, or a long-term guy that we can be patient with, that's going to say get good next year and then be our point guard for the next 10 to 12 years, then of course I'm looking that way. But I'm not shipping Frank Ntilikina, DSJ, and Alfred Payton out of town just for the sake of shipping. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do.
Who are you drafting? I want to know who you drafting then, because you want to draft LaMelo Ball. Who you gonna?
I gotta go.
Yeah, somebody's got to go. Like that's what I have.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like Elfrid's already gone, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
Who drafting?
Let me address this thing about Sima Singh. Sima Singh, that's my guy. That's like the day one guy. Hey, shout out to Sima Singh. Shout out to Guillermo that came through the chat and Marquise Walker that came through the chat. But what Sima Singh said was what Sima Singh said? He said something about Rondo. Okay, we need to stop mentioning Rondo and Frank in the same sentence. Exactly. And so the other thing, the other thing too is
you said that. That wasn't us. That was you.
No, Teddy said Frank is a championship would be a guard on a championship team.
I said a piece.
Yeah. But you get that piece about Lakers and Rondo.
Yeah, because they're a championship team. So, but here's the thing: you asked me who I'm drafting at 8, right? So who I'm drafting at 8? I'm drafting Aaron Nesmith at 8.
And who you drafting 27? Who you drafting 27? I like Kira Lewis. I already know.
Talibé or Desmond Bain.
Actually, that's not my pick.
Carolus.
So I'm taking at 27. At 27, I'm taking Desmond Bain or Talibé. And at 38, I want a Jamias Ramsey or Isaiah Joe.
Okay.
And notice I didn't say point guard, right?
Yeah, I'm catching on. Desmond Bain, Jamias Ramsey. Who's your Aaron Smith. Okay, Teddy. I want to listen to Teddy now. Teddy, who you drafting?
See, I got 4 selections if these players are taken.
Right.
Number 1, I want Vassell.
All right.
If he's gone, Obi's up there. He's borderline 2 or 3 for me. Pat Williams is up there for me as well.
Okay. And
of course, Kira. Kira is, I think, is the steal of the draft on the low.
Okay.
It just what do we plan on doing for next year? I think this year is just a building block for next year.
Okay.
I hate to say it that way, but I think that's what we're doing this year.
So now I get it. So now I think I got a better understanding of what you guys are thinking with the draft. I should have probably started that way first. So so you like Patrick Williams, Desmond Vassell, Kira Lewis if he's a possibility, and I forgot the last one.
Obi.
Hey,
Obi.
All right. So let me say this. I'm gonna address what Stephen Mendez said. So the thing with me is this: I think you have to throw out last year for DSJ. I think there were too many things going on with DSJ to say that the year he put up was say a point of what his career is going to be like. So he had 2 years of averaging 15 points a game and 5 assists.
That's
and
true.
then he had one year where his mom died, he hurt his back, and COVID shortened his season. Stuff like that don't happen to players in one season. And then when you have 3 of those things happen to one guy in 1 year, I think you have to kind of throw out that year as say an outlier. I think Dennis Smith Jr. can get back to somewhere between 12 and 15 points a game and somewhere between 3 and 5 assists.
And I'm happy this got brought up.
Real NBA coaching.
I'm happy this got brought up because I felt DSJ was in a, first off, getting traded period. I think the mental aspect of that played a toll on him as well. Just so much happened. I think he could be a breakout player if under the right circumstance. Because this offseason he's working with what's his name? Muhammad, the good point guard who's played for Denver all them years.
I know what his name is. I just want to hear you say it.
I know. Yeah. Hey, it was in my head. But
Chris Jackson. His name was Chris Jackson before he converted to Islam.
Yep.
Raouf.
Okay.
One of the best point guards to ever lace him up.
Some people say he was the creator of the style of Steph Curry.
I believe it. Yeah, you're right. Actually,
yeah. Said that too.
Yeah. I think DSJ could be a sneaky starting point guard if he plays. If this offseason goes great, if he's dedicated and focused.
Right.
And I like Frank to come off the bench, me personally, as a defensive stopper.
Okay. I think that's a good assessment. I think people, as a sixth man, I don't think people have a problem calling him a sixth man. But you gotta have a starting conversation as a starter. That's when people like Freezy. He has a good. And I'm not gonna defend.
I understand.
I don't hate Frank.
No, I'm not
saying I don't hate Frank. I just want Frank to prove it because in 3 years he's been so Frank before last year, Frank was 5-2-2. Frank was 5-2-2 before last year, and last year he was 6-3-3. You know what I'm saying? I just want a backup is going to be a quality guy. Just bring on a quality guy.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
This is from the chat. Do you think Tibbs can turn DSJ into Rose?
No.
I think 12 to 15 points.
Hell no.
I think 12 points and 15 points is a good conversation. Everything else is just anyway. So who you drafting 27, Teddy? Who you drafting 27?
I like Desmond Bane a lot.
Okay. And who you drafting 38?
38th is going to be that tricky one because I think we need a backup big. I think we draft a big.
Okay.
And I think the big from Kansas would be a good pickup.
Yeah, he's not bad.
I think a good backup center would be great. Traditional center at that.
Okay.
You know what? And so here's the thing why I disagree a little bit with that. I feel like I don't want Mitch to feel like he's the man at center, right? I feel like Mitch needs a veteran guy, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee type guy to back him up.
I wouldn't mind getting those guys.
Yeah, to back up Mitch.
You know what would be a good sneaky pick? Let's pick up Boogie. What's Boogie doing?
Yeah, well, no, man, I ain't.
He has nothing to like. He's been a part of championship teams. He knows he's at the end of his years.
I like that.
He's at the end of his years. I'm telling you, he'd be great for Mitch. Even though he's been on some good teams and he's been on a bench, right on the bench. He knows he's done. Finito.
But the thing with Boogie, think about this. The thing with Boogie is he's got a torn Achilles, right? He's coming off a torn Achilles.
Right.
And he also has the same blown up quad that Victor Oladipo is fighting back from right now, right? And now think about that at 270 pounds. If now 270 is his playing weight, we don't know what weight he's at right now, whether it's 260 or 290. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't take the chance on a Boogie being an integral part. If we fill out the roster,
he's a backup. I play him as a backup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if he's legit still out there after we filled up the roster and we have one big man spot left, I say go for it. But I don't want Boogie feeling like he's going to be the sixth man. You know what I'm saying? Soon as Mitch get his second foul in the first quarter, Boogie ripping off his clothes, coming out thinking he's going to play 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I just can't see that.
You can say he's instant offense, though. You know, as far as just veteran leadership, showing Mitch where you should be on the floor. You know, and he can low key shoot too. So
I like Boogie. I like what he brings to the table, but a lot of things that we say are not on Boogie's resume. Like being a leader, that's not on Boogie's resume. You know what I'm saying?
What about
if anything, it's a complete opposite. Boogie has been a pain in people's side. You know what I'm saying?
What about Randall as a backup center?
that's go small ball.
He was a center. He was a center in New Orleans.
So take him out the starting lineup.
I mean, sometimes he can start, and sometimes
I'm actually down for that. Actually, if we were to get that's tough. That's tough because it seemed like Randall, he got this mentality that he the man. I think it'd be hard to get him to go to the bench with this young team.
Well, I mean, this guy's saying that we should have a start. I mean, we already have a player. We don't have to sign anybody. We just, hey man, you can start, or you can come off the bench. He's still gonna get his points. 18, 8, and 3.
You think so?
I like your argument. I just don't see it happening. That's the only thing. It's hard to even.
Okay, the argument is solid though. Okay, but the argument is solid. It is possible that he can start or come off the bench as a center, and we don't need to get DeMarcus Cousins no more because we got Julius Randle right there. He could just go ahead.
I kind of feel like that's Taj. I mean, if we're gonna keep Taj, that's kind of feel like.
I feel like Taj got to go. I feel like Taj was a good story because he's from New York and because he's a solid veteran presence. I just don't see it when I go back and this is the reason when I go back and watch the tape of Knicks games from last year. There were a lot of times when RJ Barrett is going to the basket and he runs into a guy and I'm like, what's that guy? Who's that? Where'd that guy come from? And it's Taj Gibson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're like, God, dog it, Taj Gibson.
You know what? I don't mind Taj being like the 15th man though, like players coach, like the veteran on the team,
like a Udonis Haslem.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like Taj. I like Taj. He's a great vet, but the makeup of our team, we have too many people clogging the paint, right? I mean, we legit can't put the ball on the floor and go to the basket because if you play Randall and Taj together. Then it's like when you go to the basket, it's 6 men in the paint, one with the basketball. You know what I'm saying? And at the time this was happening, and just to qualify my statement, at the time when you played those three together, when you had RJ, Randall, and Mitch on the floor, right? With RJ, you got Julius Randle and Taj Gibson on the floor with RJ Barrett. You also had, say, a Frank Ntilikina and Alfred Payton or another non-shooter. So instead of RJ having a clear lane to the basket, you have a clogged up paint, and then if RJ kicks it out, he kicks it out to a non-shooter that shoots the ball and bricks, misses. Now you have an uneven break going the other way with your two rim protectors down underneath your basket. So the other team is headed the other way in an odd man rush with either an open 3-pointer or a layup at their basket.
Let me ask y'all something. This is a good question. What do you think our identity is going to be next year?
I don't know, man.
Defense. That's what Tim said. Defense. Tim said our identity is this: defending the basketball, penetrating the paint. That's what he said. He needs a point guard that can get 2 feet in the paint. That was what he said. We need people that can penetrate other teams' defenses. So I think you'll see a lot of drive and kick or drive and make at the basket. And based on what Tim said. Now, he said that early, right?
So and that's why you want Nate Smith as your first pick?
Huh?
Is that why you want Nate Smith as your first pick?
No, I think, hey, I'm going to go back just a few seconds. So a few seconds ago, I said Taj and Julius are block clogging the paint for RJ going to the basket, and there's 6 men in the paint, one with the basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now RJ tries to go to the basket, and he kicks out to a guy. So instead of that guy being Alfred Payton, imagine if that's Aaron Nesmith, right? Just imagine that. Can you imagine a shooter that's his top skill getting open looks from 3 at the basket? That's the reason why I say go with an Aaron Nesmith. So because he shot 50% from 3, right? No. In college, 51.4, right?
To play under a pro style.
Hey, shout out to Triborough. The Triborough Gigolo was good. Hey, what's good, Triborough? Hey, and so the reason why I say Aaron Nesmith is even if he doesn't shoot 50% from 3 in the NBA, what if you arbitrarily just knock off 10 points from that percentage, right? That's still 40% from 3. Think about that.
Nesmith is going to I like him.
40% from 3 in the NBA is elite shooting.
Mm-hmm. I got a question. Something I want to bring up. After you finish, I want to bring something up that you were talking about earlier. Zach LaVine. You were having a Zach LaVine. Well, I'm gonna say it, and then y'all can talk about it. But I want to bring that conversation back because I didn't know he liked Zach LaVine.
Who, me?
Yeah, you earlier before you bring us up. You were talking about Zach LaVine to the Knicks, right? Yes or no?
Yeah, I like Zach LaVine.
So who would you give up? I want to listen to that because I was getting into that conversation. I wanted to hear about who would you trade for Zach LaVine? What would you be your starting 5 with Zach LaVine? Why, this, that, and the third. I have questions about that.
So the Zach LaVine thing to me is intriguing because Zach LaVine is a 25-year-old that averages 26 points a game on excellent efficiency, right? Mm-hmm. My only deal with Zach LaVine is I don't want to give up RJ Barrett and Mitchell Robinson to get Zach LaVine. I don't want to give up a 2021 first round pick for Zach LaVine, right? Because while I think Zach LaVine is worth it, I don't want to have a situation like Carmelo Anthony where you give up all this stuff and then Zach LaVine is here by himself.
So who would you give up?
So I would definitely give up 8, 27, and 38 for Zach LaVine and maybe Kevin Knox. Maybe. I like Kevin Knox.
All our draft picks?
Yes. 8, 27, 8, 27, and 38.
Yeah, I want to.
They'd be lucky to have 8.
So who would be
8 in the draft pick? 8 in the asset.
Zach LaVine is 26 points a game.
But you getting you basically getting a lottery pick from us.
Right. So would you give that up for Devin Booker? 8, 27, and 38.
Who's the starting 5, Freezy?
Now, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. I just want to see what we're giving up for Zach LaVine because if we can't get Zach LaVine, the starting 5 is irrelevant. We get
our all our draft picks this season.
But you walked away with Zach LaVine.
Plus an asset. Plus a young player. I guess you got your franchise player in those guys. I mean,
so now you have Zach LaVine, RJ Barrett, and Mitchell Robinson. So Raphael. So here's the thing. All right. So say Chicago falls for that, right? Say they find a banana peel and slip on it.
They would be the ones to take it. That's a bad move for Chicago, in my opinion.
Huh?
That's a bad move, in my opinion, for Chicago. That would be a steal for us.
Really?
Opinion.
Let me do something right quick. Let me do something real quick. Hey, Jasmine. So I just sent the joint and for StreamYard. So I'm not on I'm broadcasting to Sportscaster, but I'm actually on StreamYard. I just sent the link down below underneath Lauren's chair. So if you want to jump in, come on. But to your point though, if Zach LaVine, if the Bulls fall for that, if they take it, then now you're talking about a situation where you have RJ Barrett, Zach LaVine, and Mitchell Robinson. And so it's easy to me, in my opinion, it's easy to you can get free agents, DJ Augustine and Jay Crowder to fill out your starting five. So you go DJ Augustine, Zach LaVine, RJ Barrett, Jay Crowder, Mitchell Robinson, and I think that gets us to the playoffs.
What happens to Frank and DSJ?
They come off the bench.
Okay.
They come off the bench. I honestly don't think Frank Ntilikina is better than DJ Augustine, and DJ Augustine's career numbers say so. I mean, what does Frank do that DJ Augustine can't do?
No,
and
what about
DSJ? Defense, you might be wrong.
My thing is, I think DSJ might be the starter.
Yeah, you got a bigger point there, Teddy.
I think DSJ might be the
I
starter.
think that argument is more solid than holds more merit than possibly we're giving.
I don't have a problem with DJ Augustine, but I just feel like we got DSJ already on the team, and if he can have a great offseason and get back to his confidence being back up and Tibbs showing him confidence, that boy's a bad boy on the low. If he can, oh man, if he can get a jump shot.
If we get him back to 15-5, that's all. If that's the floor,
that's all you need
for DSJ. That's excellent for us because we don't normally get 15-5 from our point guard. Right. The last time we got 15-5 was Derrick Rose. And y'all remember how bad Derrick Rose was with us. All he wanted to do was he didn't even want to be there. All he wanted to do was get his numbers up so he can get traded. That's all D Rose wanted to do.
And he did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he even missed a game. He even left the arena, just disappeared without a trace, and had us looking for him like right before the game. Y'all remember that?
I remember that. That's when I lost respect for him, actually.
Yeah, man. My man didn't want to. Yo, let me say this one thing real quick, man. If y'all like what y'all hearing, man, subscribe to Lawrence Tears, like videos like this so that me and my man Teddy Ted and Raphael can continue to grow confidence and do more stuff like this for y'all. Put this stuff out here that y'all like to hear and talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about us, our personalities or whatever. Even though I feel like this COVID bid is getting out of hand, it's probably gonna go soon. But it's more so about the Knicks network. It's about Knicks fans talking about Knicks topics. You know what I'm saying, and being heard. There's some shows out there that you probably frequent that you can't even have your voice heard. You probably get in the chat and say some stuff, and people don't even acknowledge who you are, or whatever, as a Knicks fan, or whatever. We're not trying to be like that. Shout out to my man Woodshed. Shout out again to my man, my half brother, Triborough Gigolo. That's my guy. And so I don't mean to interrupt y'all, man, but we got to pay these bills, bro. You got to get this. We got to get these subs up. Lawrence Tears only has 58 subscriptions, man. We need to get that number up to at least 800. You know what I'm saying? Where we can continue to share stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? So when my man Raphael get on here and be spitting that knowledge, that we'll reach more people. When Ted get on here and reach more people, when Ted get on here and spit that knowledge, you know what I'm saying? We'll reach more people, man. That's the main thing. Steven Mendez, what do I feel about the point guards in the G League? I don't. I'm operating under the assumption that we don't even have point guards in the G League.
Hey, Peterson's balling.
Wood, stop! Wood is a troll, man. Wood is a troll, and as a matter of fact, now that Wood is in the chat, I'm gonna run something by y'all. I've been trying. Wood told me something 2 weeks ago, and he legit is running from me. So at Woodshed, the dude that y'all see in the chat talking about it's No Shave November, he said he legit found the next Christian Wood. So I don't know if y'all know about Christian Wood or whatever. I don't know if y'all know about Christian Wood, but he's like the surprise guy, whatever, revived his career, whatever. But Woodshed said he thinks the next Christian Wood is Skylar Labissiere. So he's got all the physical talent of Christian Wood and more. But Skylar Labissiere's issue is between the ears. You know what I'm saying?
Boy.
Yeah, Woodshed said that. And he told me that 2 weeks ago, and I promised I'd keep it under my cap. I was like, Wood, come on the show. Wood, come on the show. Wood, come on the show. Do it. and for some reason why we didn't link up. But Wood said that, right? And I was hoping that he could elaborate on that. Wood, can you come on and talk about that for a little bit, or is now not a good time? I'll curse the Knicks if I shave. I mean, what's gonna happen? We gonna win 10 games instead of winning 20? So anyway, yeah. So Woodshed said that he feels like the next Christian Wood is Skylar BCF, and when he said it at first on the surface, I laughed.
That guy from Sacramento.
Yeah, Portland. He was drafted by Sacramento, but he went to Portland.
Right?
Say it again.
He was in Sacramento too, right? He's
from
Kentucky?
Yeah. Yep, he's from Kentucky.
Oh man.
He's the center. He's the center after Karl Anthony Towns. After Karl Anthony Towns and Willie Cauley-Stein left, Skylar BCL was the next center.
Yeah, I'm done.
So I imagine
I got so many jokes.
From the side, I imagine y'all are like, nah, this can't be real.
It's got to be no nut November because his boy. I think that's so random out of left field.
So here's the thing.
It ain't exactly terrible.
Has all the physical tools. Skylar BCL has all the physical tools. Like he's almost as athletic as Mitchell Robinson. Almost, right? He can handle the ball though, like a Tim Thomas. Y'all remember Tim Thomas from back in the day?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one he said Kenyon Martin is Fugazi. You remember that? So Scout can handle the ball and pass. The only thing though is he's not a real physical cat down low, but he's 7 foot tall. The dude's 7 foot 240 or 6'11", 240, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But he can handle the ball. He can run. He can shoot a little bit. He's a
good fit, actually. He may be a good fit.
I'm gonna have to look at his numbers real quick. Give me a minute.
His numbers are terrible because he won't do a good fit
for the young team though. Because I think we're gonna be running and gunning a lot this year. Especially DSJ happens to be our starting.
Christian Wood came out of nowhere.
I'm liking that Aaron. I'm really liking that Aaron Naismith pick, man. The more and more I think about it.
Yeah, the Aaron Naismith. I've been telling Woodshed it. I've been telling people. Hey, shout out to Legion of Knicks podcast, who thinks I'm absolutely crazy for saying Aaron Naismith. He wants a cat. I think he wants the kid, Devin Vassell, right? But if you use the same equation,
me too.
If you shave 10 points off their 3-point percentage, Devin Vassell is a 31% 3-point shooter in the NBA. Is that what y'all want to pick at number 8?
I feel like he's picking hypotheticals though.
Yeah, but also what people say is, well, Devin Vassell's defense will make up for it. But no, Devin Vassell as a rookie is not coming in the NBA defending LeBron James. He's not locking down Brandon Ingram. He's not locking down Jason Tatum. He's not locking down Kevin Durant. He's not locking down Bradley Beals. You know what I'm saying? He'll be an average NBA defender his first year, just because he's a rookie. Now, just because he's a rookie, right? After that, who's to say? Right? But right now, you're talking about drafting a guy that's defense first and 3-point shooting second. So if his defense is going to be average and his 3-point shooting is going to take a dip from college, why take a chance on him at 8 when you know you got a certified bucket getter at 8? You know what I'm saying? And to your argument, Frank gets the ball and penetrates the paint and kicks out to, say, R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett was not the best 3-point shooter this year. No. But your starting point guard, Frank Ntilikina, gets the ball, penetrates the paint, and kicks out to a wide open Aaron Naismith. Now what do you have? You know what I'm saying? Now you have a guy that's a certified bucket getter and
I
Frank
think we can make him
Ntilikina's
the next JJ
playmaker.
Redick, honestly.
That kid is he's going to be a problem.
But so if you
with the right point guard,
huh?
with the right point guard, Naismith,
The right system, man.
Even think about this. So Frank was 6'3" for his career, right? Mm-hmm. And he's been surrounded by people that can't shoot. Now all you do is add one shooter to Frank Ntilikina while he's on the court, and market improvement from RJ Barrett. Now Frank goes from a guy that's 6'5" and 5 to maybe a guy that's 8'6" and 6.
All right, I don't want to push it, but that's why I would consider trading Mitchell Robinson and trade up for James Wiseman. He's another player that I think that can shoot and that has a jump shot, and I think he can defend as good as Mitchell Robinson and can shoot and help out. That's why I like. That's why I'm a huge James Wiseman. I feel like they need him bad.
Right. So so Woodshed said Desmond Bane over Devin Vassell, and you know what? I kinda agree. I like Desmond Bane and Tyler Bay towards the end of the first round, right? Because I feel like you need physical freaks to play in the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Like for instance, the Lakers won the championship, right? Do the Lakers have a physical freak on their team? Yes. You know what I mean? So you feel like
Obi Toppin. What about Obi Toppin? What's your opinion?
I just, man. So I gather you didn't see my my Knicks power forward video. Just what the Knicks need, more power forwards. That's sarcasm, by the way.
I forgot about it. Yes.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You change your mind.
No more power forwards, bro.
You change our minds every month.
No more power forwards, man. I mean, you already have Julius Randle. You have Julius Randle, Taj Gibson. You had Mook March. You got Kenny Wooten. I mean, how many power forwards does one team need?
Julius Randle as your backup center, and have him starting.
No, not Obi Toppin, because Julius Randle is 19-9.
He could give you 19-9 too.
What, off the bench?
Obi Toppin could give you 19-9 starting, and Julius Randle could give you 19-9 backup center.
Nah, I'm not bringing Mitch. I'm not bringing Julius Randle off the bench for a rookie. I ain't doing that. So then have Julius Randle starting and give you 19-9. Right. So if Obi is there and he's the clear best player, I say okay. Right. Okay. But I'm not drafting him as a need. I'm not saying I need to have Obi Toppin.
Can that work? Julius Randle as center and Obi Toppin at power forward. Can that work for you in your eyes? I want to know. That's what I want to know. Teddy, I want to know that from Teddy too. Can that work? Julius Randle starting at center, Obi Toppin starting at power forward. Since we're talking about athletic players.
Hey, I'm gonna go use the bathroom right quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, my opinion, I don't think so. I think they both demand that block as well, though. It would be a great lineup. I don't want to.
You ain't gonna out-muscle them.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I don't think it would be a bad thing. I just see.
And if you miss Obi Toppin, I think he's good at putback dunks, right?
Yeah.
It's a conversation.
You make it a good case.
Dennis Smith Jr. He's another one. I was there in that Luka game. I went to the Madison Square Garden. I saw him
when he boomed it.
When he boomed it, so caught me off guard. Didn't see it coming. That's the first time, because I've seen Mitchell Robinson sort of do it with the dunks, but when Dennis Smith Jr. did it, I'm like, I didn't know where it came from. He's lightning fast when he jumps. So, that could be an athletic team. If you want to talk about an athletic roster, without moving the pieces too much, right? Because we don't want to trade for Russell Westbrook or any other player. If you want to just keep it organic, right, with the players we drafted or traded.
So your number one pick, if Obi's there, you taking him regardless?
No, I'm not. I'm looking at my options. I can trade up first, and then I have to. But if Obi is there, it depends. First of all, I'm gonna tips about that situation. I'm gonna talk to Leon Rose. Hey man, what do you think about a starting five of Dennis Smith Jr., RJ, Knox or Iggy, right? Obi and Julius Randle or Mitchell Robinson at center. Can we go to the playoffs with that kind of roster? Am I doing enough? Am I doing enough for the city of New York? Am I doing enough for this roster, for these players that are playing every day? I gotta hear from them what they're gonna tell me back. They gotta tell me something like, "Yo, man, this is something that we can win with. Can we win a game or two in the playoffs with Dennis Smith Jr., R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson, and Kevin Knox or Iggy as small forward?" I gotta hear them tell me, "Yeah, I think this is a decent roster, or we have a chance as a playoff team with that kind of roster." So what do you think? Feezy, what do you think? Since we're talking about athletic players, and since that's where the game is going today.
So here's my thing. I think you need athleticism, but you also need skill. So while LeBron James is the most athletic person in the NBA, probably, he's also one of the very best skill players. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. So I like having athletes, but I like athletes that can do something. You know what I'm saying? So don't give me an athlete that can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Running fast and jumping high don't really mean nothing to me if you can't hit open jump shots, if you can't get rebounds, if you can't defend.
So what do you?
It's the same reason why Trevor Ariza is not a lifelong Knick, because Trevor Ariza and LeVar Postel were the two most athletic guys we had on our roster one time, right? What about Trevor Ariza couldn't do anything.
What about is Obi? Does he have enough skills, or he doesn't have enough skills for you? That's what I want to know.
I like Obi. I think Obi is very skilled. I think Obi is very skilled in terms of finding the right guy to pass the ball to, reading a defense, knocking down the straightforward, the straight ahead 3-point shot. I think my thing is, can he defend our rim? Can he? Will he be able to do certain things? Well, hey, what's up, D Grant? What's good? I think Obi is talented, but again, how many power forwards does one team need? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
but again, we have to focus on the starting five, and you have to get rid of the excess fat, right? You got to work with the starting five, and you got to try to make a. You got to make a roster.
But you make your starting five out of the guys that you have on the 17-man roster. You pick the best 5 guys out of your 17 men, and then you put them out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you just draft a guy and say he's the starter when you already have a guy that starts and gives you 19 and 9.
So Obi said, "Hey, you're passing and taking Naismith." This is what I'm asking.
I think so, because we need who's our small forward today? Who's our starting small forward today?
Knox.
It's kind of open.
Right.
It was what's his name? It was Mo. It was Mo.
It was Mo Harkless, right? Right. So do you pass? Do you go Obi Toppin knowing that you have Julius Randle, Taj Gibson, Bobby Portis, and Mitchell Robinson, or do you go Aaron Nesmith when you don't have a legit small? The only other small forward on the roster is Iggy Brasdakis, and you know he's not starting. You know what I'm saying? I think in that case, you have to draft the best available player. So depending on your logic, if Obi is the best guy, then draft Obi. But you have to address the openings in your roster. Because for the past 50,000 years, we always duplicate at a position. For the past 50,000 years, even all the way back to Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell, 2 guys that played the same position. You know what I'm saying? We had to make it fit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one time we had Steve Francis, Stephon Marbury, and Penny Hardaway all at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, you would get Obi Toppin only if you know you can trade for a small forward, or you know you're going to sign a small forward. Is what you're saying?
No. What I am saying is this: I think you should with our team, under every circumstance, you have to draft the best available player. Right? You have to. Because the Knicks are not in a fortunate situation where we have 3 bona fide starters, 2 of which that make the All-Star team, and maybe we lost in the conference semifinals. That's not the Knicks. The Knicks are in a situation where our roster is trash. So whoever we have to draft talent. You know what I'm saying? So if it calls for drafting Obi Toppin, so mote it be. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's what I want to hear because I'm hearing this and okay. So if the best time, if that's Obi, you're taking it. Okay, cool.
My preference is Aaron Nesmith because I think he legit answers a question or solves an issue that you have on offense. Say RJ Barrett goes to the basket and is congested, 6 guys down there, 1 guy has the basketball, and you kick out to an open shooter. Would you prefer for it to be Franklin Ntilikina or Aaron Nesmith?
No, look, I love Aaron Nesmith. That's no question. Look, I like Nesmith over basketball.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you.
That's one of my favorite players, and I think he should be in the lottery pick. He's a lottery draft in my eyes. But
can I be realistic though? There's only one player that the Knicks has won and done so far.
Kira Lewis.
That's true.
Kira Lewis.
Great point, Teddy. Great point.
And I think I think he's going to be our guy. And I think we're going to move our 27th and 38th pick, and we could get Naismith still.
Here's my question. Okay. I want to listen to everything you're saying about Kira Lewis right there. If we draft Kira Lewis at number 8, you're saying that we're going to keep Frank and DSJ? I want to hear that.
No.
I think DSJ is gone. I think Alfred Payton's gone. I think they're keeping Frank though.
Okay. Hey, what do you think, Freezy?
I agree. I can agree with what he said. Yeah. Okay. My only thing though is if you get Kira Lewis, right, you have to bring in a veteran. Frank can't be the veteran. I don't want Frank Ntilikina teaching Kira Lewis Jr. how to play.
Let me read this. You need a stretch 4, maybe Jalen Smith or Patrick Williams. Okay, shout out to B Grant and making some good points in there.
I think we trade a 27th and 38th pick and actually go into the teams.
I'll be honest with you. I think the Knicks are going to trade down with Boston. I keep saying it, but I have a gut feeling that's going to happen. I think the Knicks are going to trade 8 for 14, 26, and 30. Draft Aaron Nesmith at 14.
Good
draft Desmond Bane and Tyler Bay at 26 and 27. And at 30, pick up a big, like what you said, like Zeke Naji from Arizona. And basically what that does is it secures shooting. It addresses wing defenders and Desmond Bane and Tyler Bay, and your backup big spot with Zeke Naji. And so the only thing that you have to focus on is bringing in a veteran point guard to go into that mix. And if y'all believe DSJ is going to get better over Tibbs, then he may not bring in a veteran point guard. He might just roll with Frank and DSJ.
If you do that trade with Boston, right, where you get the 14th pick and you get Naismith or Kira Lewis, whoever you want to get on 14, would you take the 26th and the 27th pick and Alfred Payton's contract and Bobby Porter's contract and trade 2 picks, the 26 and the 27? Sorry, let's just say the 27 and the 30th pick. Would you trade the 27th pick and the 30th pick and Alfred Payton and Bobby Portis to trade up somewhere between 14 and 20?
For who are we looking for? Why are we trading up though?
I don't. Let's just say Tyrell. Well, for Aaron Naismith, would you do that for Aaron Naismith?
I don't know. I'm not really looking to trade that much for Aaron Nesmith. If we miss on Aaron Nesmith, Say who will we take at 14 if we don't get Naismith?
Let's just say you draft Kira Lewis. Or if you draft Kira Lewis at 14, who they won and dined, right? We got to put. I want to keep that in perspective, right? You draft Kira Lewis at 14. Now you have 26, 27, and 30. You also have Alpha Pitton's contract still. You also have Bobby Portis, Taj Gibson. Would you take Reggie Bullock, Wayne Ellington? Would you take two players and the 20 and the 30th pick and the 27th pick and try to get into between 10 and 20? Would you do that?
Yeah, I could see a scenario like that. So let me address D Grant just real quick. So D Grant said the problem with Neesmith is his IQ is very low and don't facilitate the ball like Terrell Terry. Well, this is three parts. First of all, Terrell Terry's a point guard and Aaron Neesmith is a wing player. So saying a wing player doesn't facilitate like a point guard is kind of unfair.
Yeah.
Right. And then at the same time, we say that Aaron Neesmith has a low basketball IQ is not fair, because when you watch Vanderbilt games, you see that he makes the right play. But since Vanderbilt doesn't have the talent of a Kentucky, those players don't make the same type of players that a player from Kentucky will make. Like, for instance, if Emmanuel quickly turns the corner on a pick and roll, he has an Ashton Higgins headed to the basket, and what's the other kid that Knicks are interested in? Tyrese Maxey in the corner, right?
What about that?
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, so but when Aaron Neesmith turns the corner on the pick and roll, you don't know any of the guys that Aaron Neesmith is passing to. When you watch Vanderbilt games, dude makes the play a lot of times. I'm not saying all the time. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of times he makes the correct basketball play. But Vanderbilt didn't have the same level of talent as a Kentucky, as a Duke, as an Arizona. Like, for instance, Arizona has three guys that can go in the first round. They have Josh Green, Nico Mannion, and Zeke Naji all can go in the first round, right? Vanderbilt has one guy that's going to go in the first round, and that's Aaron Neesmith. So if he has the ball, who is he going to pass to, right? And the other thing too, what people got to understand is, Aaron Neesmith had a coach that was not suitable for Vanderbilt. Right, so Aaron Neesmith and all the guys that he was with got subpar coaching the year before. Right, they bring in Jerry Stackhouse. Yeah. So I mean, that Vanderbilt thing was over his head. But anyway, they bring in Jerry Stackhouse, right? And in 1 year, Jerry Stackhouse turns Aaron Neesmith from a random guy from the same school as Chris Middleton, same high school as Chris Middleton, to a potential top 10 pick in less than 1 full year of coaching. You have, and if you have faith in Tom Thibodeau, then you believe Aaron Neesmith is going to take the very next step when he gets to another great coach. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say these things. You can't say these things in a linear fashion. Like, Aaron Neesmith didn't pass the ball to a non-shooter that was open for three. He didn't pass the ball to a non-shooter that was open for three because the dude is a non-shooter. That's not a low IQ play. That's a high IQ play. You know what I'm saying? I mean, why kick the ball out to a guy in the corner wide open from three when you know he can't shoot? Right? I mean, some of those things.
I think he's trying to make a Alonzo Trier situation. I think he's trying to say he's like Alonzo Trier, maybe. I'm not sure.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He, as a matter of fact, he's the complete opposite of Alonzo Trier. I mean, the fact that Aaron Neesmith is.
I don't know what you're trying to say about that. I don't know. But the fact that.
Oh, go ahead, boss.
Oh, okay. My question is, also the Knicks are big into they say that the Knicks might be a Kentucky pipeline. Let's just say the Knicks draft Tyrese Maxey at 14. And you want to get Kira Lewis possibly, or you want to get Kira Lewis is still available. Tyrell Terry is still available. Naismith is still available. Would you consider trading the 30th pick, and the 28th pick. No, they got the 26th. It'll be
27th and 38th.
Yeah, 26, 27, because the Knicks own the 27 already. So it'll be 26 and 27 and 30. Let's just say, would you consider trading 2 of those picks and Alfred Payton to get Akira Lewis or Aaron Naismith?
Nah, you know, at 26 and 27, if I can get Desmond Bain and Tyler Bay, I'm happy.
I mean, you still keep one. You still have one pick in the 20s.
Do y'all even think they're gonna really trade with Boston though?
That's what he's saying.
Yes.
So?
Yeah. So, and I'm not tooting my own horn, man. Listen, I'm not on that. I'm a humble Knicks fan, right? I mean, and I can't afford to be arrogant because my team loses too much. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't do that in real life either. I'm just a straightforward dude. But at the same time, I've been saying that since the lottery. As soon as the Knicks got 8, soon as we went from 7 to 8, I was like, you know what?
I would do it.
You may trade with Boston and get 14, 26, and 30. And the reason why, because Boston is one player away from being the NBA champs, right? Boston is a solid big man away from being the NBA champs. The Miami Heat wore them down inside, and that's the only thing that stopped them. Because if y'all think the Miami Heat had better wing players than the Boston Celtics, y'all bugging. I mean, you just Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown compared to Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, and Jay Crowder. Really? That's not even up for the. And Boston also had Gordon Hayward. My bad. So it's like so Boston would trade up to number 8 to get Onyeka Okongwu. You know what I'm saying? And that solves their issues right there. If Okongwu is on the board at 8, I expect Danny Ainge to get on 95 and run to New York to get to for New York to do that deal.
My whole thing is, yeah. I just want to add that I would, if I draft Tyrese Maxey at 14, I would trade 2 of those picks in the 20s, whether it's 27 and 30 or 26 and 30. I would trade 2 of them and Alfred Payton and Wayne Ellington, and if I can get Aaron Naismith or Sadiq Bey, maybe I hear his name a lot. Or I mean, I doubt Isaac Okoro is going to drop. So if I can get another one, for example, I'm going to say, that's a stretch for me to say Isaac Okoro is going to drop within 10 and 20. But let's just say his name drops, and I can trade Alfred Payton, Bobby Portis, and the 27th and the 30th pick for Isaac Okoro, I will consider it. And more than likely, more than 50%, I would trade those 2 players to Minnesota or to another team so that I can have a better prospect. So I can get not a better prospect, so that I can get a better fit. Because Freezy, you make a good point that we need talent and you need fit. And one of the weakest areas is the small forward. So if I can get the second best small forward in that draft, or the third, or the 4th best small forward.
And it's one of the reasons why Teddy was saying that we should look at Devin Vassell at 8.
Right.
And I don't dispute the argument. I don't think it's a bad take. I just disagree. Like I think it's a smart take, right? I just think about number 8 differently from them.
No. But I'm saying if we trade down with Boston, I'm talking about if I trade down with Boston, I would still draft Tyrese Maxey, and I would still try to trade up from all those picks I have in the 20s with Alfred Payton to try to get a good small forward, because that's a valid point you're making. We need to address that small forward situation immediately. So, and also let's just say we get a player a small forward, a player that we don't like. Let's just say we draft Tyrell Terry, who we don't need. It's possible we can draft Tyrell Terry and trade him to another team who really wants Tyrell Terry, and we can charge him, hey, listen, he's a good player. We went out of our way to get him. We're gonna give me something that I want that's a bargain chip. So I think trading up for a player as a bargain chip can be worth it for the Knicks, especially since.
So you would say that in that trade up scenario, and regardless of whatever order, the trade up scenario will get us Kira Lewis Jr. and Aaron Nesmith. Regardless in what order we
happen. I see Kira gone. I don't see him lasting past 9. Naismith is another question. I think if the San Antonio Spurs or somebody don't get him, I think he'd be available. But I think the players are gone past 12. That's just my opinion. I don't see Naismith lasting that long. I don't see Kira definitely not. And honestly, I don't see if we're gonna have all them draft picks. I see us trying to get a vet. I see us giving them assets away to get one of them vets that we've been talking about in the offseason.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
And hey, so I'm gonna address what D Grant said. So D Grant said, I live in Atlanta. And have watched a lot of SEC basketball and seen Alabama. Kira Lewis Jr. is not what the Knicks need. Knicks fans will be very disappointed. Hey man, I live in South Carolina, and I go to these games, man. Listen, I go to these Gamecock games, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. Alabama did not impress me this year. I'm not saying that I don't like Kira Lewis Jr. I hadn't seen Kira Lewis Jr. this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
there's too much stuff going on.
Who did they have?
But what I will tell you this is the one time I saw Kira Lewis Jr., he just looked like an ordinary guy. I think that was like a year ago or something. He just looked like an ordinary dude. But at the same time, when I say that, the city in which I live in, John Morant came and played, because he's the same age as my son. And so we went and saw his team out of Sumter play our team in Darlington. And John Morant just looked like a super duper athlete with no skill. He didn't look like a Division I player. He just looked like, a dude that can either play point guard or wide receiver. Yeah, and y'all seen high school kids before. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like he could either play center field for the baseball team or wide receiver for the football team or point guard for the basketball. He didn't look like a starting NBA caliber point guard. Now, to his credit, he did turn into that, and he may be an all-time great. So the thing I'm saying about Kira Lewis Jr. is he wasn't impressive when we saw him, but it doesn't mean that he can't turn into that guy.
What about Maxey when you saw him live? Have you seen Maxey?
Yeah, I saw Maxey. Maxey just looked like a dude he just looked like a dude that run around with his hair on fire. You know what I'm saying? He just looked like a dude that bring a lot of energy. That's what he looked like, because he missed a lot of shots, he missed on a lot of passes. But if somebody can refine that, he may be a legit NBA player. But at the same time, he was smaller than the point guards. He was smaller than Ashton Higgins. He was smaller than Emmanuel Quigley. So, and we're talking about bringing him in and have him be a wing player. I don't know.
I think we could get Kira and Naismith.
How?
We got to trade the 27 and 38 pick and trade up. It's gonna take another young player. Though. It could be Bobby Portis. It could be Elfrid Payton along with the deal, but it's gonna take them type of players to move it to the teams.
Yeah. So D Grant said, "I'm not."
Lewis is gonna be a guy though.
So Woodshed said, I know one of Kira's coaches. He will be Dennis Schroeder. And yeah, we know he's fast. I mean, we know he's fast, man. That's not what we're disputing. Yeah, what I'm saying is we need a facilitator. You know what I'm saying? We don't need a track team. We need cats that can get legit organized an offense, make veterans go to their spots, and make sure everybody execute the play.
And y'all forget Avery Johnson was the first coach. I think he may be more prepared for the NBA than we think.
Well, I'm here to tell you that I believe that if we miss out on Kira Lewis, it won't be the end of the world. You could still get Tyrell Terry. You could still get other guys.
Way better.
Yeah, Malachi Flynn is a guy. My only thing is from what I've seen, he doesn't present you with the eye popping measurable stuff. Like he's not super fast. He's not super
look what team he
long.
was on.
He can't jump out the gym, but he is the number one pick and roll point guard, offensive pick and roll point guard in college basketball. Malachi Flynn. You know what I'm saying? That means he can run the hell out some pick and roll. You know what I'm saying?
I think he had the best.
So I will give.
That's a bad boy, and I think we can get him at 27. I think we should get Vassell, and this is my opinion, Vassell or Patrick Williams. Grab Malachi Flynn at 27.
Right.
38 a center.
So would y'all be willing to trade some of the babies to do that? So instead of trading 27, would y'all trade Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina to move to 10 with the Phoenix Suns, and then draft Kira Lewis Jr. right there? So then you have Aaron Nesmith and Kira Lewis Jr., and you still have your draft picks late in the draft.
I would make that trade. I hate to say it. It.
And listen, God of Moses would make that trade too. He trying to play it off like he wouldn't do it. You know, you would run to Phoenix, Arizona.
I actually like Knox and I like Frank a lot.
Right. No, I will consider. No, you know what it is right now. I just read something about Knicks are targeting old bruiser Isaiah Stewart. So I was like, let me. But I was trying to figure out when to say it. So that's another player that Knicks are looking at. Maybe they'll trade. I really like that concept you're talking about, Freezy, about Knicks trading down with Boston, right? You could trade down with Boston and get your player on that 14th pick and really use those two draft picks and possibly a Frank Ntilikina or a Dennis Smith Jr. But I first started with the veterans first, because I know trading, like after listening to you and after listening to Teddy, I think you both want to give Frank a chance next season.
I think it's his contract year. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, it's a contract year, so I think I have so I'm working with that situation. So I'm like, okay, let's just just to go with the flow. I would I'm not gonna just say, I'll trade Frank and DSJ and get. I mean, for LaMelo Ball, unless it's a LaMelo Ball, which I think LaMelo Ball's price is to get him. It's going to be 2 first-round picks from 2021, and
I see him going to Detroit anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think Detroit's going to trade up for him.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like everybody. Unless it's LaMelo Ball, when it comes to that, I think it's rational to say, hey, let's just wait till the trade deadline to see how these guys are, and we figure out. The main question I think everybody wants to know is, should we consider re-signing them to a Reggie Bullock contract, or should we let them go, or should we even consider them paying them the veteran minimum contract? What kind of contracts are they worth?
I think it's all with the production. How well do they fit with the
extreme of value of Frank Ntilikina, and some people could say, or Reggie Bullock, like I say, and some people like you say, like $10 million a year, and it's very extreme. And let's remember that Frank Ntilikina had Leon Rose, and he fired him. He fired him as his agent. I'm thinking Frank is after the money, but I'm like, listen, if he was really after that money, you would be getting buckets, because that's the main problem. But
I think Leon was trying to get him to a different team, and he wanted to stay in New York. I think that's what it really was about.
What?
He was on the trade market every trade deadline. I think Leon was telling him, like, you can go here, this, that. He's like, no, I want to stay in New York.
Yeah.
I think that's what it came down to.
So if y'all like what y'all hear, man, subscribe to the channel. Yeah. I think we went up like 3 subscribers since we've been on. So it's up to like 61 subscribers. What we want to do is get this thing to at least 800 around Christmas time. I mean, it's not just for me. You know what I'm saying? It's just so that we can continue to share this network here with others. So the more we share it and the more we like it, the more other people get the opportunity to see it so that they can share and so that they can like it. So by the time the season starts, when we come on and get on and do like post game, like, oh man, geez, Randall was 7 for 22 and blah blah blah. And, you know what I'm saying? It'll be a bigger crowd.
Right, and continue to talk about trades and free agency.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And so we can continue to grow the channel. I know there's plenty of Knicks channels out there. And listen, I contribute to some of them. But for this one here, where it's just like regular random dudes just talking about the Knicks, y'all got to hit the subscribe button, man. Hit that like button. So that we can get that thumbs up as we go. Yeah. So we can make sure y'all share it on social media and things like that, so more people will see that we out here and exist. Because believe it or not, and I'm talking to the chat, talking to everybody out there in YouTube universe, people are looking for videos just like this and can't find us. And how I know that to be true is because about 4 years ago, I was looking for Knicks content contributors and couldn't find none. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at old SNY clips that last like 3 minutes or whatever. They give you a little bit and jump off. And then I ran across one. And I was like, hey, you know what? I could probably do that myself if I can get some people to help me. You know what I'm saying? Right. Some people to jump on and talk with me.
Crazy, man. I'll be there 9 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Yeah, man. And so it's not just about, and so for the people looking, it's not just about, you know what I'm saying, Uncle Freezy or Teddy or Raphael. It's about all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? About putting out a place for y'all to come to and chop it up about these Knicks that we love and hold so dear.
That's what matters,
so
man.
Spread the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raphael.
No, I lost my train of thought, man. I got caught up with that with everything you said that I'm gonna have to remember.
I think Kira's gonna be the guy we pick up, man. I'm kind of sold on it. The whole management going down there and whining and dining and
you guys hit me with news that Frank Teddy was hitting me with the news about Frank and that Leon Rose was trying to help him go to another team.
Oh, I think that was for sure. I think that's exactly what it was.
That's why.
I think they kept putting him on a trademark. You know, he Orlando wanted Frank real bad at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's around the time he fired him. Like, no, I don't want to go to Orlando. I think that's what it was about.
Right.
And he's still on the Knicks. He's on the new management. And it seemed like Frank's popularity went up a lot last year.
Right. Well, some people protect him no matter what. Like he don't even like. That's what like I kind of agree with Freezy because I'm like, listen, man, you gotta produce. Like you can't make me look bad supporting you. You know, I'm a Knicks fan. You know, I'm about the Knicks, but you can't just make me look bad. Produce 6 points, play good defense for 20 minutes. For 3 years and make me you're embarrassing me supporting you. It's hard work. So it's not easy to support to anybody who's wearing that Knicks uniform. You want to support them, but if you're not if you're only the only thing you're gonna do is defend and pass the ball, and you got Russell Westbrook in the league. You have
You think I know?
Fox in the league. You have Ben Simmons in the league. You don't want somebody who's going to fight back.
I think Frank defines New York.
So God Moses, stop dancing around the trade. I'll put a trade out there, and you didn't answer it. You just said, I don't know. Frank Ntilikina and Kevin Knox for the number 10 pick. What? What are you going to do? No, yes or no?
Number 10 pick?
Yes. Hey, Ted, you saw how he danced around it. He danced around it like
Kevin Knox. I think Kevin Knox will be the most improved player next year.
Look, if you tell me Frank and DSJ, I might pull the trigger. If it's Knox, I would give Frank Knox one more year because I feel like he deserves. I gave Frank at least we gave Frank 3 years. So I want to give Knox.
So Legion of Knicks podcast. Do you pull the trigger on a Frank Ntilikina and Kevin Knox to Phoenix for the number 10? And I know what he's going to ask. He's going to say, well, how does that benefit Phoenix? Well, how it benefits Phoenix is this. So it provides them with the much-needed defensive backcourt depth that they need, right? And Kevin Knox and Cam Johnson Kevin Knox and Cameron Johnson are the same type player. You know what I'm saying? And I know you like. What about duplicity? You don't necessarily need duplicity. You know what I'm saying? Or it's not a bad thing having duplicity in the fact that you can run Kevin Knox and Cam Johnson out there to do the same thing. Now you can afford to trade Kelly Oubre for nothing. You can get him off the books, get him out of the fold, and now you have a Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Kevin Knox, 3-man rotation on your wing, and the defender, the lockdown defender that Phoenix has been desperately needing. It's the real reason why you go out and get a Chris Paul, not because of his offense, because Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton provide you with excellent offense. What you get from Chris Paul is defense at point guard and veteran plays down the stretch.
Wait. I don't know. That offer is, man, I don't know if I could say no to that trade offer. That's a good offer. Frankie Ntilikina, Kevin Knox for the 10th pick.
I see Bobby Porter's making more sense.
I'm not ready to make that decision. Give me a few days. That's my best answer I can give you.
Oh, you've been dancing for 20 minutes.
Oh man, man, that's a damn good trade. You could get somebody. That's a good.
Me personally, I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Oh, are you serious?
Only because I feel like Bobby Porter should be more of our trade bargaining. I could see Bobby Porter saying Elfrid Payton or Bobby Porter saying, I hate to say it, I want to keep him, but Reggie Bullock.
I would need a better plan. Freezy. I need to make a
Kelly Oubre. I do it.
Position. I can't make the decision on the spot. I would have to have a plan. So I would have the 8th pick and the 10th pick and the 27th pick.
Yeah, and 38.
I ain't gonna lie, that sounds good.
And for cats like me and Teddy, you can legit get Devin Vassell and Aaron Nesmith in that situation. You can legit have Devin Vassell and Aaron Nesmith in that situation if you do that deal. You can get Vassell at 8 and Nesmith at 10. And now you're talking about your small forward is locked up, your shooting guard is locked up, your power forward is locked up.
I could probably trade up. I could probably trade up from 8 and 10, and I could probably go chase a LaMelo Ball if I wanted to.
I'm gonna be honest.
If I could trade the 8th pick and the 10th pick, and I can have a James Wiseman or LaMelo Ball, I feel like I got a shot.
This draft is so unpredictable. It almost feels like it almost feels like it'd be better just to get rid of our picks and getting a veteran. Or I honestly want Kelly Oubre. If we could get a Kelly Oubre and keep one of our our 8th pick,
right? You could take Kelly Oubre. I'll take that 10th pick because I feel like it gives me room where I can try to get a LaMelo Ball, a James Wiseman, a Anthony Edwards, and I gotta take that situation seriously. Like if I can help out RJ, and then possibly
I got to get Kelly Oubre if I'm going to make that deal. They already want to get rid of his contract. Kelly Oubre got to be part of the deal some way, some sort.
Why? Why do we need Kelly Oubre? Why do we need Kelly Oubre if we gonna draft Devin Vassell and Aaron Nesmith?
Now change it. We're not drafting. Maybe Nesmith. We're not drafting Vassell if we get Kelly Oubre. We're drafting Kira at this point.
I'm 75% sold on that trade, man. I'm doing it. I'm
doing that deal because it saves the Phoenix Suns money. Right. That deal saves the Phoenix Suns money, right? Because if they take that pick, they'll make the 10 pick will make just about a little bit more money than Kevin Knox based on the number, based on the minimum salary for the 10 slot going up, right? So now you got Frank on, I think Frank makes like 6 mil, something like that, or whatever it is, and Knox makes about 6 mil, and that spot right there I think is going to make like 7 mil or whatever. Now you're talking about you have a veteran point guard in Frank Ntilikina and a veteran and Kevin Knox going to a young team just to play in a certain role. They don't have to be stars of their team anymore. They can just go in and learn under a great coach in Monty Williams and just play a certain role until they're ready to step in and be starters.
With Devin Booker in that situation.
With Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. And how that helps the Knicks is that helps us solidify our cornerstones where we get Devin Vassell and Aaron Nesmith. Now you have two more wing players to go with RJ Barrett, right? Or at 10, you can legit go Jr.
Oh, see, now you're talking. Now you're
So,
talking.
but it presents you with options, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It presents you with options.
So you wouldn't get Kelly Oubre if you could.
No, he's not. Okay.
If they have to throw in Kelly Oubre, I'm not upset by it. Right? I'm not upset by having Kelly Oubre. What I'm saying is, if we can do that deal, then do it. But if they want us to take on salary, then I'll do it. Kelly Oubre doesn't stop me from doing a deal.
I feel like that 10 pick's a huge pick for them.
Right. It seems as if that is a huge deal for them. But remember, they went 8-0 in the bubble without the number 10 pick. Think about that. Think about how that team performed 8-0 without Kelly Oubre and without the 10 pick. They were 8-0. They barely missed the playoffs. And I believe if they would have got their hands on the Clippers might have been in trouble, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got another scenario because I like
real quick, Teddy. But to answer your question about that Kelly Oubre, the only player that I would consider trading is remember that Boston situation? It's trading down the 8th pick with Boston getting their 14th pick.
Mm-hmm.
I would want Gordon Hayward. That's the player that I would want.
Now
he has a 1-year, $35 million option. I would like to have him for 1 year. I feel like that, and for him his outside shooting, I feel like a 1 year, they get.
You think Gordon Hayward's better than Kelly Oubre at this point?
He's outside shooting.
Just a question. Period. Just a question.
I think Hayward over Oubre.
Huh?
At this point in Hayward's career, do you think he's better than Oubre?
I mean, if I'm gonna go with a Vassell and a Naismith, I feel like Gordon Hayward is gonna enhance his game more than Kelly Oubre might, right?
I think Vassell's stock has dropped, in my opinion.
So let's just say So let's just say that I want to trade the 8th pick, right? And I still got the 10th, right? Mm-hmm. I still got the 10 and the 14, but I trade the 8th pick with Boston, right? Okay. I'm going to want Gordon Hayward and pair that 10th pick, which is either Vassell or Naismith. One of those two are going to fall my way. And I feel like with that player, I'm going to want a Gordon Hayward to be around him, shoot it out with him, you know what I'm saying? Have him in the roster. And, part of and we're like, listen, these are the ropes if you want to be here for a long time, so to speak, just like Boston did.
So you believe in that at having a veteran presence has a heavy impact on the young guys on and off the court, is what you're getting at.
I think so. I think it's possible. Yeah, but I think, I get the whole concept of, you get better in the off season. I think it's year round. I mean, look at Knox's work ethic. Some people say it's really good, but I mean, I think his defense is okay, but
his work ethic is the thing in question. And forgive me for jumping in, but his work ethic is one that the front office raved about when he was a rookie. They were like, he's the first dude in and the last dude out of the building. All he does is go back to recover and then go home to his apartment and play video games to get ready for the next day. That's it. He don't go out. He's not a menace. You know what I'm saying? All he does is eat, sleep, and drink basketball, and then go rest playing video games in his apartment by himself, and then come back the next day before everybody. I think
if veteran presence didn't make an importance in the roster, then why did Boston spend $35 million on 2017 for Gordon Hayward? Why did
Because he was the man in Utah before he got injured.
Why did Utah trade for Mike Conley Jr. when they didn't even have to do that? So I think there is an importance that there of having those kind of having that kind of experience. Experience matters. It doesn't mean you have to hold on to him for 3 years or 5 years, but it's definitely worth it for 1 year.
For 1 year, I can see that. I see where you're coming from.
I'm not trying to push this whole we need this guy for forever. But again, this is why I would trade down with Boston if I can get Gordon Hayward and his shooting,
right.
Aaron Naismith. If I want to keep Aaron Naismith and have him be the best version of himself, you know?
Right.
So,
right.
So that'll be interesting. If we can have Gordon Hayward and get the 10th pick, and then I also got the 14th pick to work with Kira Lewis and to work with Aaron Naismith or Devin Vassell. Then I think we're on the up and up. I think we're catching up now. I think that puts us in a position where we're catching up. We're closing in on the margin, right? We want to close the margin,
right?
And that puts us in a good position. So those two trades might be important, at least from my point of view. That trading with Phoenix and trading with Boston is something that we desperately need.
Do we need to do both? Do we need to do both?
I think so. I think we need to do both. If I could get Kira, like you say, man, if I get Kira Lewis or Tyrell Terry and get Vassell,
if you do both deals, think about it. So if you do both deals, so then you don't get the 8 pick. Then you pick 10, 14, 26, 27, 30. So that's 5 first-round picks.
No. Wait. Again, I'm trading the 8th pick.
And you get Kelly Oubre, and you have Kelly Oubre.
Again, wait. Remember, I'm trading the 8th pick for the 14th pick and the 26th and the 30th pick, right?
Right.
I got my blood flowing now.
You heard what I said, Freezy?
The draft is in what, 11 days? No, 8 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
7 days now.
But you heard what I said though, right? You know, right. Ideally I want to get Vassell is a small forward and Naismith. They're small forward or they're more guards? I mean,
wing players. Both are wing players. So they play the 2 and 3 and maybe some 4.
All right, cool. I want somebody that can definitely play the 3, but whatever. So that's the goal. So the goal is if I can get one wing, either one Devin Vassell or Naismith, and the other one will be Tyrell Terry or Kira Lewis or Tyrese Maxey. One of those.
It's a lot of guards.
It's one of the two. I mean, I gotta take. Let's just say, for example, Tyrell Terry and Devin Vassell. That could be those two in the draft in the first round. That'll be worth it to me. And the other picks, I'm trading them. I'm trading them for, Gordon Hayward, a backup point guard, a backup center that we need. So I'm going to say, hey, listen, I got the 26th pick, I got the 27th pick, and the 30th, and also got Bobby Portis. Give me a better backup center, so that I have somebody.
You can go to Boston and get Gordon Hayward for the 38th pick because he's trying to leave anyway. Gordon Hayward is
going to go for 38th pick.
Because we'll be absorbing their contract. We're not going to give them a player. You
don't get talent for free. I don't think you get talent for free in the NBA. I think you always got.
But if you don't do it, then he'll just walk because he's thinking about just not picking up his player option and becoming a free agent.
I think he's going to go to Indiana. Me personally.
Yeah. And Indiana don't have cap space though, dog. That's one of the things you got to realize.
Oladipo, I think it's going to be a case where you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's tough. It's tough to say because
you gotta have cap space to sign Gordon Hayward.
I would rather be Kelly Oubre. I think that's what I'm feeling right now. I'd rather have Kelly and take what we already have. I think we're being greedy with all these draft picks.
Hey, but let me ask you this though: when's the last time the Knicks have been in a situation where they could afford to be greedy?
Never. I can't remember.
I mean, and so this is my This is what I like to use as an analogy. Like during the summertime, I'll be sitting out on my side porch, right? Got me a little side porch. Sometimes during the day, it'd be hot back there on the side. You know, it's big enough, got you, little grill, your little set from Walmart out there where you can sit out there and kick your feet up. You know what I'm saying? I'll be watching the squirrels, right? And this one squirrel had nuts in his mouth, like his jaw's like this big, can't even move, but guess what? He got another one tucked under his arm. So I'm like, this squirrel is legit risking his life to get out here over, trying to gather all these nuts and stuff, right? But then I thought about when I be out here during the wintertime, it ain't none of this stuff out here. So my man is like, yo, while the getting is good, I'm going to get it. He going to get it while the getting is good. And then that's what I think the Knicks should do. The Knicks should take this opportunity to load up their roster with talent while they can do it. Because you don't know when the next time we're going to be in a situation to load up on talent.
I totally agree. I think, like they said, they want to focus on the young guys, and if we don't take on any salaries, we need assets. And
yeah,
why not?
Yeah, the thing with Hayward is nobody is going to give Hayward $30 million to play in the NBA next year. Nobody, right? $30 million, and it's not because he's not a good player. It's because teams can't afford to pay a guy $30 million. You know what I'm saying? Right. So if he opts out, the most he'll get is maybe 3 years, 18 mil a piece, like 3 years, 54. But the Knicks can trade the 38 pick and let him play it out for this 1 year for 30. You know what I'm saying? Like legit just send them one player and absorb his contract, and we can still take on Kelly Oubre, and we can still get that backup center that Raphael wanted. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, while we have the opportunity to do these things, I think we need to consider it. Because say we make the playoff next year and Giannis says he wants to come, guess what? The $48 million that we had wrapped up in Kelly Oubre and Gordon Hayward comes off the books. And we'll have more than enough to sign a Giannis. That's right. If we think that far. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, we'll have Kelly Oubre and Gordon Hayward. So it's like, the situation where I think we need to stop looking at ourselves like, as the backseat driver and get in the front seat for a change. Like, get ahead of this stuff and acquire talent while we're able to acquire talent.
I like how y'all thinking. I ain't gonna lie. I never even thought about this scenario.
Yeah. The thing with you sending a message, like the Miami Heat is sending messages to Giannis Antetokounmpo right now. Like, hey man, listen, we made it to the NBA Finals. We're one piece away from winning the championship. Meanwhile, Antetokounmpo was like, yo, I'm tired of losing in the playoffs. I want to win a championship. The Bucks have never made it to the NBA Finals. The Heat is like, yo, we're one player away. We're one power forward away. We starting Jay Crowder right now. What if that was you? You know what I'm saying? But the Knicks can't say anything because we've been stuck in the lottery forever. But you know what, though? We can say, hey, listen, we just drafted all these cats, dog, and they are ready and hungry. We got the rim protector that you needed. We got the Robin to your Batman and RJ Barrett. You know what I'm saying? We got all these young pieces. We got the shooting and Aaron Nesmith. You know what I'm saying? We got all these things that you missing in Milwaukee. So why not? And while I do believe Giannis will turn us down, we can at least make the pitch now. In years past, we weren't able to make a pitch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't make a pitch with like Frank Ntilikina has got potential. Man, ain't nobody trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? You got to legit put yourself in position to be a player. That's one of those things I think we just hadn't been able to do in the last 20 years. And I'm not saying that we're going to get Giannis, and Giannis is not even considering us. But if the chance comes with Leon Rose as a head guy that we can sit down and have a meeting with Giannis and Leon Rose, bruh, it's something totally different than we've ever seen before in our life. Right. You know what I'm saying? We can legit bring in the best player in the game because we got Leon Rose. You know what I'm saying? We got the roster fixed. You know what I'm saying? We would legit be like, hey man, we one alpha away from being a championship contender. And you can do it in New York. And winning a championship in New York is like winning 10 championships in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You win one chip in New York, you are the king of the universe. You can win 10 championships in Milwaukee and you're just like a guy. You're just a regular dude. You win a championship in Miami, You just a guy. You win a championship in New York, they might put your face on a $10 bill. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's hyperbole, but the thing is different. The how these things operate is different. Like you can win in Brooklyn, you can win a championship in Brooklyn, New York, and you just be like another dude. You know, dudes cross town, won championship, blah blah blah. Have y'all parade, all 500 of y'all fans will show up for y'all parade. But if the Knicks win a championship, our parade will be 5 times bigger than the championship parade in Toronto. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I mean, and people will say, well, that's wishful thinking. That's a pipe dream. All fan bases dream about winning championships. Even the fan bases that have won championships before. You know what I'm saying? You think Golden State don't want to win the championship this year because they won 3 back in the day? No, they want to win this year. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. I ain't mean to hijack that, but yeah.
Oh no, I love all the scenarios because it just puts things in perspective. Like, man, this draft's gonna be interesting, to say the least. It's gonna be very interesting. And all these names I just heard, all these things I ain't never thought of. You know, I'm speechless because
all these scenarios. That's why when draft night comes, and you hear all these trade scenarios being bantied about, this is not network television just bantying up like trade scenarios for ratings. This is legit conversations between NBA GMs. Yeah. So yeah, man. What? So
I'm gonna say one more thing. With this new regime, they don't owe anybody anything. Right. They ain't drafting any of these guys. I mean, maybe what's his name probably did, but I'm talking about
RJ.
As far as Leon goes, yeah, that's why RJ and Mitch is the only one that's protected because what's his name drafted him. Everybody else,
Scott Perry.
Yeah, Scott Perry's the one who drafted him, so everybody else is pretty much expendable. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens when this draft comes because they don't owe these guys anything. Man. And I think Julius was just a major signing as a piece. So I think he's going to end up – I honestly think they're not going to get rid of Julius. I hate to say it, but I think they're going to keep Julius.
Really?
So everybody else, I mean, that's their core. RJ, Julius, and Mitch.
Right.
There's literally no telling what this season's going to look like next year.
I'm in the mindset – I'm in the mindset too that Julius being here is not certain. There was rumors I think early in the summer, some Knicks contributor said that he may be Utah may be looking to do Julius Randle for Mike Conley and the number 21 pick. Right?
I'm gonna be mad at that.
And we were like, well, how does that benefit New York by bringing in another point guard that's past his prime or is not a starting level point guard? Well, the motivation to do it is, we take on Mike Conley's terrible contract, but at the same time, we get the 21 pick. So we pick 8, 21, 27, and 38. But if we do that and the Boston deal, we do that and the Boston deal. Now you're talking about the Knicks picking 14, 21, 26, 27, and 30. So now you're talking about, now you have Mike Conley and 5 first-round picks. And then if you consider doing the Frank Ntilikina and Kevin Knox to Phoenix, now you're talking about the Knicks picking 10, 14, 21, 26, 27, 30. Right? And people will say, well, what do you need with that many first-round picks for? Dog, have you seen the Knicks roster the last 10 seasons? Have you seen these bums that came through? Do y'all remember Langston Galloway? Wow. Y'all remember Alexei Shved? You know what I'm saying?
Know, right?
Y'all remember Prigioni? Y'all remember Jeremy Tyler? Y'all remember Cole Aldrich? Quincy AC? You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember Robin Lopez? Y'all remember Maurice Endor? Are y'all seriously talking about what do we need?
We had a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah, man. Do y'all remember Shane Larkin? You know what I'm saying? Oh my God! Do y'all remember Torrey Murray? I mean, come on.
Oh man.
Come on. Do y'all remember what's my man name? Trey Burke. You know what I'm saying? All these guys, man, how in the world are y'all gonna turn down first round draft picks when the roster for the last 10 seasons looked terrible? I mean, while I'm not in favor of getting 6 first round picks, bringing in 6 rookies. Oh, I'm sorry, 7 rookies if you keep the number 38 pick. While I'm not in favor of bringing in 7 rookies, I am in favor of acquiring assets and then making a move to improve your roster with those assets. So if you get 7, if you have those 7 slots, I'm in favor of looking to move up for a James Wiseman or a LaMelo, drafting a Devin Vassell, bringing in an Aaron Nesmith, a Desmond Bain, and a Tyler Bay.
That's a solid team. That's a solid team.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And then you already have young guys and vets in place. You know what I'm saying? You already have your Mitchell Robinson as the center of the future. You have your RJ Barrett as a wing player of the future. And then depending on how you do it, you may still have DSJ, right? You still may have Kenny Wootens. You may still have, you know what I'm saying, some guys on your roster, your Iggy Brasdakis. And then you can still you still have 5 slots where you can bring in bona fide veteran presence, like what God of Moses and Elijah said. You know what I'm saying? You can still bring in your Gordon Haywoods and your Kelly Oubre's. You can still bring in your DJ Augustines. You can still make a pitch for Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee. You know what I'm saying? You can still make pitches to all these players because you hadn't given up anything in salary. Only thing you did was shed salary, acquire draft picks, and now it's like chess. You take all these pieces on your board and make the moves you want. But because for years and years, we've always been back into a corner where we couldn't make moves. Right. And if we could make moves, the move would be limited. You know what I'm saying? Like one year we had Carmelo. We had like $30 million or $20 million, and we had to choose between Chris Paul and Tyson Chandler. And we chose Tyson Chandler instead of Chris Paul. Oof. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was like all these years we always been like boxed in. Now we have an absolute clean slate and have valuable pieces to make moves with. And I'm not saying bring in 7 rookies. What I'm saying is use those assets to bring in a guy. Like with
a guy that you really want on the staff. Yeah.
Right. So like for instance, if you're not satisfied with a Mitchell Robinson, you can take, say, a Mitchell Robinson and a 27 pick and trade him to Indiana for Miles Turner. Is that an improvement? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's something you can, when you have pieces, you can make these type moves. Like if you don't like Mitchell Robinson, right? Then maybe you can go get you a stretch 4 from Chicago, like go get Lauri Markkanen and play.
I like that. I like that move.
Yeah, so you can now you can go take a Julius Randle and maybe something and go get a young power forward that can shoot the 3 that matches your timeline. You know what I'm saying? So it's like instead of us being backed in the corner, we basically have an open board to do whatever we want with a front office that's super smart, with a front office that also have super development. They have a development staff in place just for this, and a scouting department that can identify talent. So now you're not making limited moves with a bad front office. You have exponential moves with a super smart front office. And so you just want to keep all your options open. And I know some Knicks fans that are what do you call it? Scorned Knicks fans will be like, well, we don't need that. That all we need to do is trade for Chris Paul. Well, if you want to trade for Chris Paul, that's fine. Now you have the pieces to do so. So if Oklahoma City was like, hey, I'm not doing a deal without a first round pick, okay, we'll give y'all 27. You know what I'm saying? We'll give y'all the player option contracts and the 27 pick. Now we still have 5 first round picks and Chris Paul. So it just gives you the opportunity to do whatever it is that you want to do across the board. Build a team in Leon Rose's image or Tom Thibodeau's image. And now Tom Thibodeau has no excuse except to go out and win.
That's wow. What a draft that's coming up. And if you ain't a Knicks fan, I mean, the possibilities of seeing a good Knicks team, or not even just a decent, well-coached team next year.
Right.
It's endless. It's endless.
Right.
You just,
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't been this hype in a long time.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
just
man. It's one of those. Yeah, it's something. It's definitely something to think about, man. It's as you wanna. Hey, let me do something real quick. I wanna do something real quick. I think something happened here with Sportscaster. I think I may not be live on Sportscaster no more. I don't want to.
No, I just seen it.
Is it okay? All right.
It's still up.
Okay. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that the people on Sportscaster didn't disappear on me. I checked the app, and the app didn't show that we were still live. And the thing is if you hit a certain yeah, we still live. Okay, good. All right, because if you hit like a certain, like if you go over 3 hours or whatever, it'll clip you. And so I did the countdown when I was like, yeah, we had 3 hours, man. I'm about to get clipped. And they clipped me 3 hours on the dot.
Oh, wow.
I was like, dang it. Yeah.
Some people that be watching games that be on there for like 5+ hours. That's why I'm surprised. Yeah, there was I think there's NASCAR or something like that, and some guy was watching. I forget what was on. It was something was on for a super long time, and I said, "Now he's been on for 6 hours now."
It's 6 straight.
So you click on Sportscast, they show a live. You know who's on live right at that moment.
Right, right.
I was like, wow, somebody really out here like,
they out here eating. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure because even if it did get clipped, what I wanted to do was just, you know what I'm saying, just you know what I'm saying, tell everybody, you know, how grateful I am before the thing click off and not just disappear. You know what I'm saying? I just find that to be a little bit rude. You know what I'm saying? That's that old school, you know what I'm saying? When somebody leaves, you want to tell them bye before they go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all. But yeah, man. So to the Clarence Robertson said, to trade with the Phoenix Suns, no way. Not unless we get Oubre. So y'all are fan of Oubre, huh?
I agree.
Okay.
Kelly Oubre would be such a perfect Tibbs guy too. Oh my God, that guy is so talented to me, and using the right system with I think the sky's the limit for this for that guy. In my opinion, I feel like he haven't hit his peak yet.
Wow.
That's high praise for. I like the one he was in Washington.
Yeah. I think he got misused a little bit in Washington. I didn't like the fact that he backed up Marcus Morris in Washington. I think he should have been getting more run in Washington. His
defense so underrated. I think he'd be a 3D guy for the Knicks. And he got that dog in him. I think he'd bring like that swag to the team. You know what I mean? It's just all above. I like him, period. I think he'd get players hyped. I think he'd be good with DSJ. Right. I don't think he's gonna stay long, but you know, somebody them two high flying and with Mitch and RJ and oh my God, I think Julius would go.
RJ Barrett has that dog in him. Absolutely. RJ Barrett legit has that dog in him. Like he's legit the one that, you know what I'm saying, when times get hard, you want to go to him because you know he ain't gonna quit.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's the thing with RJ Barrett. So here's the thing. So we talked the draft half to death, right? So I want to talk about what veterans that we should bring in. Should we bring in complimentary vets or do we bring in win now?
And it shouldn't be no contracts that are. I don't like Gordon Hayward. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's contract. Even though it's 1 year, don't get me wrong. Even though it's 1 year, I think we should bring in players that are on the cusp of all-star level, like a Kelly Oubre. I think a Bogdanovich would be a steal if we can get him. I think I don't like Buddy Hield.
I don't like Buddy.
I think he a chucker. I think he's too full of himself. I think he needs to get humble a little bit. I think he got humbled a little bit in Sacramento, but he didn't take Sacramento seriously. You know what I mean? Like, even though you got humbled a little bit, but he didn't take the team serious. Like, y'all bitching me in Sacramento? Like that's the vibe I got from him. But just I like Joe Harris. I think a nice decent contract for Joe Harris would be good.
Was nice and decent.
15, 20. Like 15. I would pay him 15. He gonna probably want 18 though.
I honestly believe that Aaron Nesmith and Joe Harris are the same player. I think except Nesmith would drive to the basket. You know what I'm saying? Nesmith is. I would rather Nesmith at whatever you paid somebody $8 million as opposed to Joe Harris for $20 million.
So would you give? Okay, let's hypothetically say that the Knicks are going to pick up Kyra Lewis, right? And we could get an extra pick in the early teens,
right?
Hey, I like. Right, okay, you got a good point. I don't mind picking up Kyra.
Hey, shout out to Nick G. That's my man, 50 grand. Hey, Nick G, I'm trying out the new tech, bro. Hey, OBS let me down on the old computer. I was freezing up and everything. I had to go back to the laptop. Hey, and shout out to Art. Hey, Art, what's happening, man? Where you been? We was about to put Art on a milk carton. Art, where you been, man?
Man,
You be on Twitter. Not you. I'm talking about Art. I'm talking about Art in the chat. Yeah, Art done disappeared on us. Yeah. Hey, Art, what's good, man? What we gonna do? But back to what you were saying. I'm sorry. I had to shout out my guys. They the night owls with us, dog. These, it's kind of vice versa. Those usually the two dudes that be here with me, and then y'all was in the chat, and then now y'all here with me, and they in the chat. So shout out to my man's Nick G and Art.
Do you think they keep Alfred next year?
No.
Do you think they keep DFA next year?
I don't think Alfred want to be here.
I hope you don't. Do you think they keep DSJ here?
Yeah, I think DSJ will be here.
Do you think they keep Frank next year?
Good question, Teddy.
What's Frank gonna offer you?
The best defensive point guard in the league?
In the team,
I think Frank might be.
In the team, not
in the league. Not. I'm talking about the league.
He's not the best defensive point guard in the league. Ben Simmons?
Who?
Westbrook?
Stop it.
You think Frank could defend better than Ben Simmons and Russell Westbrook?
Ben Simmons is just long.
I think okay. So Ben Simmons, the Ben Simmons thing is kind of high because he might be the best perimeter defender in the league. But Russell Westbrook, nah, I don't think so. Frank is better.
I don't know.
As far as pick and roll defense,
how many steals is Frank getting you? 2, 3, 4?
Man, Frank was literally our only defensive player for real. Seemed like last year.
I don't like. To me, Patrick Beverly is overrated. I could see Marcus Smart. Yeah, I don't think Frank is Frank. I think Frank can eventually become Marcus Smart at the defensive end. But Patrick Beverly, a whole bunch of energy don't mean nothing because Patrick Beverly's defense in the bubble was trash. He was trash. He was him and Montrezl Harrell. They reputation of being defensive guys went down the toilet in the bubble. You know what I'm saying? All they can do is provide energy. They ain't no good.
But Frank is barely getting you a steal per game. Barely.
Frank guards 1 through 3 easily. Frank guards 1 through 3 easily. His pick and roll, he can switch. If he had other defenders behind him that really defend, like this team would be.
He gets called for a lot. He gets called for a lot of fouls too.
He gambles. He gambles a little bit, but with him and Mitch,
good too.
I don't know.
In my opinion, so to answer your question about Frank, I think Frank could be here because I don't think somebody will give us what we want for Frank. I legit told Nick G, me and Nick G was on a chat, and I told Nick G eyeball to eyeball that I would trade Frank for Romeo Langford straight up, and I would walk to Boston to get the receipt.
Don't be disrespectful.
Yeah, but long story short, but to say that Frank is a better defender than Ben Simmons or Russell Westbrook,
Not
stretching
he's
it.
better than Russell, but not Ben. Ben made his money already. He's a franchise player like that.
And he's a better defender. Ben Simmons is no joke on defense.
We don't know if Ben Simmons gonna be the same after this kneecap injury.
Yeah, but that doesn't make Frank a better defender. Like you gotta, in order to play, you gotta. Okay, he knows how to stay in front of his man, but at the same time, does he get any steals? Does he get any blocks?
He shuts players down. Their averages go down every time they play Frank.
I don't know if shut them down. Shut him down is a big word, and I don't think he really. I think he can stay in front of him.
Averages go down when Frank sticks you.
Okay.
And he's gonna play full court.
And so Ian Chisholm on Twitter says every time there's Frank slander, I don't stop the Frank slander. I just let it slide. The thing with that though, Ian, is and I hope you're watching this. I don't hate Frank, and I don't enable Frank haters. What I generally do though is have people speak truth about Frank. Like we legit think Frank is a cornerstone piece, franchise point guard, and he's not. Frank Ntilikina is 6 points a game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. That's it.
He's a defensive stopper out the bench. Let's keep it real. That's just gonna be his role.
You know what happens with Frank? I think because he's staying in front of a lot of these players like Harden and Luka, and he's aggressive. That people are looking at that and interpreting that as, wow, he is he's ranked higher than Russell Westbrook. He's ranked higher than De'Aaron Fox. And
let me ask you this:
he's the best defender in the league. And when the truth is, he's very good at staying in front, but that doesn't really mean he's really defending them like a Russell. He's not, he's gonna get
you tripping.
Foul. He's gonna
I like Russ too.
Russell Westbrook. Yeah. When you see the refs are calling the foul. He gets 2 fouls in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Let's say Frank was on. Okay, let's just say Frank gets traded to a contender, right? And
we going to have this conversation again.
I hate to put it this way.
We going to talk Frank on the championship team again, man. I'm
gonna stop it.
I'm asking. I'm trying to save you. I don't want the chat to jump on you for saying that Frank will start or get heavy minutes on the championship team.
I think we devaluing Frank a lot.
I think Frank Freezer. I think I can hold the comment. I think I got him in this conversation. Regardless of what team you put him with, you could put him with the Lakers. Now his production can possibly improve, but his defense is not so good that it's going to shut down anybody as we perceive it because he's staying in front of Luka Doncic, and he can possibly rattle him. But most of the time, he's going to create a foul. Most of the time, at the end of the first quarter, he has 2 fouls already. Most of the time, and on top of that, he's going to get subbed back. The ref is going to sub him out. They're going to have to bring him back in later, and so forth and so forth. So people interpret that as, like, wow, man, he works hard. That's what it is.
So let's get rid of Frank. From what I hear, let's get rid of Frank.
Yeah, I think let's put that in context. Frank does work hard, but that doesn't make him the best defender in the league. Because people outwork him and people know how to work the league better. They know how to work the refs better. They know how to stay out of defend and not get called for foul. And like Ben Simmons, like Russell Westbrook, Frank Ntilikina, he will stick his hand out. He will try to say, but the ref is going to say that's a foul, and I saw that, and
So it would be best. I think Frank is a good team defender as well. Like not only will he shut down, but he's like a great team defender as well.
He's a great team player too.
If he's a consistent 3-point shot, I mean,
he's a project and
an anomaly. He really is. Yeah, because I got a feeling we're gonna get rid of him and watch he's just gonna show out, and it's gonna piss me off. So I've been having this conversation about.
It's not gonna be so fast though. I don't think he's gonna show out so fast.
Not show out fast, but he's gonna be like a player that we look back on like, why didn't we
I think he's gonna take another 4 more years to.
Oh man, 4 more years. Oh my God, man!
4 years, man.
This is his contract year. He got a lot to prove this year, and if he does it by the trade deadline, get rid of him.
He probably might be, I tell you this. I will say this: he might be the best defender. If he goes to France or something like that, he'll probably be the best defender that in that league.
He's selling him short. He's top three defender in the league right now.
In the NBA, they're gonna call foul on him. They're gonna on the first quarter. He has 2 fouls that he got to deal with, and he might even get a 3rd foul mid-second quarter, and it's a situation.
Bro, listen, and the thing with Frank is, and everybody thinks I'm a Frank hater. I'm not.
I'm a Frank hater.
What I'm saying is this: Frank averaged 6'3" and 3 for 3 years. Where in those numbers do you see a high caliber starting point guard, a low caliber starting point guard at 6'3" and 3?
You gotta look at his plus minus though. What's his plus minus? Every time he's in the game, he's a plus. Like it's not even y'all. Okay, look, I see y'all analytical type guys. Okay, the numbers. That's all that matters is the numbers. All I can go is the eye test. He makes our team better on defense. Now, offensively, yes, is he a liability because he's more of a contributor and he ain't going to the paint enough? Okay, I get it. I totally get that. Y'all have a case. As far as him coming off the bench, though, and being a major defensive stopper, we need one of those guys. Who's going to be the guy if he leaves?
Hey, man. Hey, you know what? I would. Man, listen. If we drafted Killian Hayes at 8, I would put Frank on the New Jersey Turnpike at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I would do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like Frank. I like Frank a lot. But to say gamble for another year, I've been hearing this conversation with Southside and Trace on Twitter for 4 years. Before we drafted Frank, they was like, if we get him, he'll be a project.
It's not fair. Frank was bad. He didn't know who he was. He just not got his shot right.
His rookie year, he was terrible. Right? And Trace and them said, and they were like, hey, Freezy, you got to give him another year. I was like, yeah, man, give him another year. Don't trade a rookie point guard, you know what I'm saying, just because he had 1 year. The Knicks always do that. We did that with Jeremy Grant. We did it with Rod Strickland. We did it with a whole bunch of young guys. You know what I'm saying? Every time a young guy don't hit the ground running, we trade him. Right? So I was like, hey, let's wait till year 2. Year 2 come and gone. You know what I'm saying? We have another coach. The coach was trash. And now they're like, hey, man, you got to give him another year because the coach was trash. And I was like, you know what? I can understand that. Then year 3 come and went, 2 different coaches. And everybody's like, well, you got to give him another year. Hey, man.
Can he at least take 2 years with the coach?
That's on the coach. That's not on Frank.
At least 2 years with the coach.
Man.
Well, you can't blame the coach for 6 points.
He's a system point guard. He ain't no individual. Like, he's not going to wow you. He's a system point guard. That's why he got drafted. He was supposed to be in a triangle.
Tony Parker came from France, and he was giving you 10 points.
A system point guard. Again, a system point guard with Pop. So then
maybe that's the best place for him, man. Maybe send him up to the Spurs.
And he will probably turn into.
Y'all want to trade Frank Ntilikina for Romeo Langford is basically the vibe I'm getting.
I think it'll be better if we trade him
to the Spurs
in a situation where he can succeed.
So y'all want to get rid of Frank? That's what I'm hearing.
No, I don't want to get rid of Frank. I don't want to get rid of Frank. And the Knicks Twitter is killing me. They're like, I'm looking at it where they swear up and down that I hate Frank. I don't hate Frank Ntilikina.
Thank y'all. He hates him. He hates him. I agree.
Where am I?
I think you got to prove something, man.
Hey, I think Art got to cut it out.
Are you talking about Art?
China. Telling he could play in China.
I'm with Art. I'm with you. I don't know about China either. I don't know if Frank can play in China either. He has to get better.
I'm about to log out. Y'all tripping tonight. Y'all tripping.
Come on, man. Come on, dog.
Wow.
Come on. What is Frank? Does Frank give you How many double-digit games have Frank given you? Double-digit assist games have Frank given you in 3 years? Okay. Oh, so defense is his calling card, right? How many games has Frank given you with 5 assists or 5 blocks?
This is a better question. How many shooters have Frank had around him? Truly shooters had around him since he's been in the league. Truly. I'll wait.
He had Porzingis. I mean, he had Porzingis.
I'll wait. Okay. A rookie Porzingis. Okay, I'll wait. Who was a true, legit shooter on the team as long as he's been here?
Right.
Yo.
He has nowhere to pass to. He passes to Julius Randle.
We did have Alonzo Trier and we did have Kevin Knox, but Kevin Knox is not the shooter. He hasn't been that shooter.
Alonzo Trier was ISO Zoe for a reason.
That's true.
And who else?
What about Dotson? Where's Dotson in that situation?
And when him and Dotson actually on the floor, their plus is actually up when they're together. Yeah. So that's a great. Y'all just having my point.
I agree with that. When Frank and Dot play together, I think Dot benefits from that because Frank knows how to find Dot. Right. The only thing though is that's a starting caliber backcourt. That backcourt is not going to win you no games, and it's been proven. As a matter of fact, when Frank and Dot start together, their record was terrible. They're on even lower pace than 21 games. So to say they play together don't really mean nothing.
Well, that's because they're young. I mean,
all y'all doing is having my point even more. Like I don't think I realized it, but Frank with a real shooter on the floor where he can actually do pick and roll and facilitate. Oh my God!
Well, my question to you is: you just said that most likely, Teddy, that the Knicks are going to trade Frank from here to this season, right? Isn't that what you said?
Hold on, what? Say that again.
You think Frank is going to be here?
Hey, Rafael, they killing you on Twitter. There was like a dude on the Freezy stream said Frank Ntilikina is the best defender at point guard. No, they killing Teddy. Teddy said that.
I said he the best pick and roll point guard
in
the league. He's the best pick and roll point guard. As far as defense goes, defending goes.
Oh my God, they killing.
He was ranked number one. He was ranked number one a couple years ago. That's just facts. This is just facts.
Oh my God.
Hey, check the y'all like analytical stuff. Check it. The best defender.
You're telling that, right? You're telling that to Freezer though.
I know. It's Teddy. Hey, call me out.
No. I go with eye test and analytics. I look, like I said, he plays deep. He stays in front of his guy, but he's gonna get called foul. He's gonna have 3 fouls within the middle of the second quarter. So that's not good defense. If you're getting called out for what is that, Freezy? When you play defense and you have 3 fouls at the middle of the second quarter, what is that good defense or are you just hacking? What is that?
No, you just hacking people.
So then that's my whole thing is that I gotta tell you, you want to talk eye test, right? Let's talk eye test and not talk analytics.
He's not a starter. Let's be honest. He should come off the bench as a defensive lockdown person. Let's just be honest.
But
I think Frank Ntilikina is the 15th man.
Oh, y'all bugging. Y'all bugging now. He's gonna be a 15th.
Why? But Ted, he's 6'3"
Y'all keep throwing that number out there. He's a defender. He's like Tony Allen out there.
Creasy's missing the point. He's talking offense. See, I know how to stay with the topic with Teddy and talk defense and chop it up with Teddy. See, he talks about yes, we do need a defender. Look, RJ plays good defense, right? And he can score, right? So the whole thing is Frank, because he came from, I don't know. Look, he was a project to begin with, and we had to show him the ropes properly. So I'm not gonna say it's all Frank's fault, right?
All right.
We instead of possibly Jared Jack, we possibly should have gotten a defending guard that can show Frank the ropes, so he can better his defense and not get called for many fouls.
Right? Hey, let me ask y'all this right quick. Can y'all hang out for a little while more, or y'all got
I think I'm cool. I think I could do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Because my time is running out on StreamYard, and what I want to do is just reset it. You know what I'm saying? Like just jump off and jump back on, and then log back in, and then we can continue to go at it. But I didn't feel comfortable opening new topics and then be crunched for time and then get cut off.
Okay, how many minutes we got left in this one?
10 minutes.
Okay, but like I was saying though, if Frank would have started, instead of getting Jared Jack, we possibly would have gotten a Chris Dunn or another defending guard, and that could have helped Frank hone his skills, his defensive skills, where he can actually be getting. Maybe he's getting you 6 points, but maybe we could also be saying he's also averaging one or two steals per game. That's something that we could bank on that. You see what I'm saying? Instead, he's getting hit with 20 minutes and he has like 3 fouls on him in the first half. And the coach got to figure out when to plug him back in the game. So that's a tough situation, and that's not a good situation to be with. So it ruins the product, is what I'm saying. So, and still his offense is still lacking. He's still giving you in different ways. In different ways, he's giving you 6 points. He can give you corner threes. He can get a five. I don't know about an and one. He's not on that level. He can hit the mid range, but at most he's probably going to finish the game, average the season with 6 points. And when you're looking for like defensive stats, you're like, well, where? How come he only has 0.5 steals for the season? Where is these? And then you see on game, and when you're watching on the game, you see him staying in front of the person. But we always forget that, hey man, Frank got called for a foul for that play. Frank got called foul for this play. Frank got called for a foul in this. And it's not always in the highlights. And then in the first half, he has 3 fouls, and you're like, okay, well the refs don't like him.
But can we admit the last 2 months before the season ended, Frank was finding his stride for the first time in a long time. Actually, it felt like he knew what he had to do. He was playing. I mean, if you watch his last 6 games,
we're talking offense, but we're talking about. I'm not just talking offense with you. I'm talking offense and defense because it's the whole product.
His offense is probably
right. Even though Freezy's mainly talking about his offensive numbers and his efficiency, he's not even efficient on offense, and that's another conversation for that even you and Freezy could probably have that. But even on defense, if you're getting hit with fouls, you're not being efficient, right? That means you have to be efficient on offense in what you do. You have to be efficient on defense in what you do. So that way you're capitalizing when you go for that steal and when you go for that bucket.
So if we get a point guard, who would you rather keep, Frank, DSJ, or Elfrid? Honestly. Say we're getting a starter.
Look, I like that conversation we were having about trading Frank and Phoenix, right? That conversation about trading Frank and Phoenix for Knox, trading up. The main question is if I can trade the 8th pick, the 10th pick, and then the whole Boston situation, and I can try to get a LaMelo Ball, that's what I'm looking at.
I feel you. Okay.
So that's my whole thing is if I'm trading Frank and Kevin Knox, like Freezy said, if I could trade with Phoenix and get that 10th pick, and I could trade with Boston and get those extra 3 picks, and I can call Minnesota and tell them, hey, listen, man, I got the 10th, 14, 26, 27, and 30th pick. I want to work something out to get LaMelo Ball. What's it going to take? What's it going to take to make this happen? And that's what I'm looking. That's my angle. And if I can't call Minnesota, they say no, thank you. I'm calling Golden State. What's it going to take to get that number 2 pick? Then I'm calling Charlotte Hornets. Then I'm calling the Bulls, and I'm trying to say, hey, would you? I would even be willing to take out of Porter's contract. I know he paid. Listen, if we're talking LaMelo Ball and James Wiseman and these and Anthony Edwards, I'm doing that trade if I got them on the phone call and they say, listen, man, if you give me these picks and Alfred
I think Golden State wants Frank too.
Okay, cool. So let's just say that, well, Alfred Payton will be, I mean, no, they want Frank Ntilikina or Alfred Payton. Who Golden State wants?
I think they want Frank or Mitch.
Okay, but listen, listen, I'm making that phone call, and I'm gonna say, listen, I need, what's it gonna take for your number 3, your number 4 pick, and I'm gonna try to take, I take the 38th pick. I'll keep. I'm gonna want, I don't mind keeping the 30th pick in the first round, and I don't mind keeping the 38th pick, but the 26th, the 27, and all the other picks, I'm gonna try to aim for LaMelo Ball. Bobby Portis is in the deal. Everybody but RJ is in that deal.
You know what we got to take? We have to take Wiggins' contract.
Look, I might have to look, and I want to give a shout out to. I don't disagree. Look, this goes out to. I want to give a shout out, even though like they didn't even want a shout out, but Sam and Mark, because they're huge on LaMelo Ball. I kind of don't disagree now. Now I'm starting to.
I think he overrated.
Now that it comes to like LaMelo Ball, look, if I'm trading Frank, if I already traded Frank and Knox, I gotta close the deal and finish it. I gotta finish that NBA draft with LaMelo Ball. I
gotta frustrate Raphael right here.
Right here.
LaMelo Ball is not worth trading up for. You know what I'm saying? Not big time trade up for. I mean, I'm not trading away a lot of stuff to get. Hold on, let me just say my little piece here. So I'm not trading a whole bunch of stuff to trade up to number 1 to get LaMelo Ball, right? Because to me, the dude could either become Jason Kidd or Michael Carter Williams. But the thing about it though is you don't know which version you're getting. So if you trade up a lot to get LaMelo, and he's Jason Kidd, then you hit a home run, right? Uh-huh. But if you trade up in the draft and you draft him and he's Michael Carter Williams, you gave away all your future assets for a dude that's not better than Frank Ntilikina.
Now here's the thing too, the possibility that if he is the Jason Kidd with RJ Barrett, that it can attract the free agents. You know, a player like LaMelo Ball with his passing skills, and when you have RJ Barrett with his with his willingness to, he has a strong drive and he does get, he knows how to draw fouls and this, that, and the third. But, I really wouldn't care so much who is my starting small forward, who is my center, who is my power forward. I'll take whoever's there, and I can say, listen, man, RJ Barrett and LaMelo Ball, with those two, slowly but surely, teams are going to want to, players in this league are going to want to come to New York.
Okay. Hey y'all, let me do something real quick, man, since we up against it. I think I got like just a few seconds before StreamYard kicked me off. I'm gonna click off right now and restart the stream. Y'all just stay where y'all at. And so even if we only talk 10 more minutes or 30 more minutes or whatever, I don't want y'all to get cut off before y'all finish up y'all points, okay? All right. So I'm going to click off now. Everybody on YouTube or whatever, y'all stay where y'all at. I'm going to end it right here because we're up against the buzzer. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel and like the video. Yes, I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to tell y'all peace, but I'm going to start right back up, okay? Hey, Raphael, stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Teddy, stay right there. Don't go nowhere, right? Y'all going to see an alert, and all y'all got to do is do the same thing y'all did last time, and then y'all can just jump right back in, all right?
All right.
All right, I'm going to end it right here.